Welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scarish podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grace, and this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And we're here to tell you guys some stories.
Indeed we are. We're very excited to be here. Thank you to everyone.
I forgot to put my jacket on.
What's that?
I forgot to put my jacket on.
Oh, fun stuff. Thank you to everyone who is here live on youtube.com/Scarish podcast and twitch.tv/Scarish. I think I might have gotten those backwards. I'm pretty sure I did actually, but we appreciate all of you for watching, and we appreciate every single one of you listening. And like we had mentioned earlier in the week during the regular topic episode, we're going to have the homegrown horrors that you folks send us be primarily done, I should say only done, here on the Storytime episodes. We're not going to do them on the topic episodes anymore, so you know exactly where they will all be, and we're very excited to start doing that. So we have 6 for you tonight, and I did want to let you folks know that because we are going to shift around the format a little bit, and because the live episodes tend to run between 2 to 2.5 hours, we're going to bring that down a little bit starting next week. We typically read 6 stories. We're going to start reading 4 stories per episode going forward. And now is a great time to get your story in. And if you would like to do that, you can reach out to us by emailing storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us and send us your story that way. You can tweet at us at ScarishPod. You can message us on Instagram at ScarishPodcast. You can message us on Facebook, which is a really good way to do it, facebook.com/ScarishPodcast. And if you want some instant feedback, you can join our Facebook group, which is the Scarish Spooky Friends group, and post there, or you can join our Discord. The best way to join the Discord, obviously, is to, well, I guess not obviously, but go to scarish.com and click on the link for Discord. All of our social media links are there, and it'll get you right there, and it's just a fun thing to do. I really like our Discord server. I really like our Scarish Spooky Friends group on Facebook. Lots of memes. We have a channel in the Discord called Dad Jokes, which is always super fun, so not always just super scary content, but just a really fun community. So
cool.
We appreciate all of you folks. I'm going to go ahead and put a mark down on this so that we can talk to the people that are joining us live. As you can tell with your eyeballs, I am wearing a cheerleader outfit because I said I would, and I am, so there you go. And I do have on the skirt. Robin, lean back a little bit. I said I was going to do this, and we posted the video this morning, and I did. I might need your arm to help me hold this up. But yeah, there you go. Smooth, clean legs. Hope you folks
Only
enjoy.
This one. No.
Yeah. They're both done. I don't know what Robin's saying. Just this one's super smooth, but it's also very patchy because this one was the one that was waxed, and this is the one that was shaved.
This one's already.
It already has stubble. But yeah, so there you are.
Ow! It hurts.
You got your wish, folks. So thank you so much. Scrooge McDuck has fallen down because he refuses to stand up. He's so disgusted at how I whore myself out like this. But hey, you guys requested it.
Swimming in coins.
What?
Get it? Because Scrooge McDuck swims in coins.
I just didn't realize how that applied to us. Those puns were on like next level shit the last episode because we were so goofy and sleepy. So I expect them to be that high this week. Are you going to start or am I going to start this week?
I'll start because I have one that's super, super, super short.
I have, I think how they went. We have some short ones this week, and this is the perils of reading them as they come in. Is you have a short one, a medium one, and a long one. I have 2 very short ones and one extremely long one. So yeah, that'll be fun. So
all right,
you go right ahead.
Okay, so this really short one that I have, it is titled "Nephew Talking in His Sleep," and I just want to say, talking in your sleep is one of the creepiest things because I've been with people where they've talked and said the strangest things, like something about cake or some weird shit that's happening in their minds.
She's not talking about me. I don't know what incident she's talking about, to be honest with you.
But it's talking in your sleep is a weird thing.
I had a friend come out, and we went out for a beer. We were in Vegas. This is a few weeks ago, actually. We went out and we got a little bit day drunk. I was okay, so I drove home, and he like crashed out on the couch for a little while before we went to dinner. And when he woke up, he was still like drunk and half still sleeping. So like he woke up, and I was like, "Hey man, your girlfriend is calling your phone." He's like, and then he went back to sleep.
I thought he was joking.
And then like he fell back asleep, and I woke him up again. He fell back asleep again. It was this huge thing. Then I finally like held the phone in front of his face, like, no, she's really calling you. He was like, oh shit. And then he woke up and he was talking to her, and he was just saying like bizarre random stuff. I thought he was having a stroke, or they were just having this bizarre conversation that I was only hearing one end of. And when we finally met up with her, it was the first time I had met her, and she was like, I was really wondering what you did to him because it sounded like he was on drugs because I had no idea what he was saying. I was like, I don't know. This was all on him. So yeah, talking in your sleep is definitely a weird thing when you like wake up and continue talking. What's that face?
I feel like I have to sneeze. Okay. So this email goes, "Hi, Robin and Adam."
Hello.
Okay, so I have a story for you guys. One night, I went to the kitchen to get a drink, and I could hear my nephew talking in his sleep. So I'm like, I'm gonna go mess with him. I start talking to him, and he starts to respond. And after a few minutes, he sits up and says, "Uncle, who's that?" And he pointed to the corner of his room that looks a little darker than it should.
Yeah, those tables turn pretty quick, didn't
He
they?
falls right back down on his bed and is still sound asleep. At this point, I'm like, nope, time to get the fuck back to my room and act like this didn't happen. I have a few other weird ones, and I will share some other time. Sweet.
That's
I
really
just
good.
realized that this is from my friend Chris from Hawaii.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, he's Iris's husband.
Yeah, I figured.
So.
And Iris was nice enough to share with us just before the show that Brooklyn Nine-Nine just got renewed for a 7th season because she knows that we're huge fans of it. So very excited about that.
I'm super excited, and I'm super proud of them. They've done a lot of work to get
Quick
there.
shout out to This Great Coat. They subscribed through their Twitch Prime account to our Twitch channel. They actually did it before the show. I reran the notification because everyone deserves to see their notification ran across the live stream. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, that is super cool. I thought I recognized the name when it came in. So when I sent it over, I was like, I got to make sure to give this one to Robin so she can read it. I think it's hilarious that you're like, I'm going to mess with my nephew.
Their nephew's the cutest kid, though.
The nephew's like, there's a demon in the corner. Not exactly that, but I just think it's really funny that the tables turned really quick.
They have a dog, so I assume if there is something there, the
dog
would
notice.
be like, yeah.
So here's the thing. Our dog is like next level adorable, and she's been doing stuff lately, Yui. They both are, but Yui, our corgi, has been doing stuff lately where she sleeps on the bed with us. She usually sleeps by Robin's feet. And she's been coming up to like sleep by our heads, and she'll sleep between us or like on our pillows. It's super adorable. It's next level cuddly. And I realized that she started doing it when we were watching a horror movie that was really loud. And I considered briefly, I'm like, maybe she's scared because there's something at the foot of the bed. And she's like, I need to sleep by their heads. So I've been considering that a little bit. Although when she gets bored, she does just straight up jump off the bed and sleep at the foot of the bed. So maybe that's not the case. Either way, it's adorable and maybe slightly terrifying without realizing it.
I could see that.
So fun stuff. Let's take a look over into Stream Chat and see what you folks had to say about the first story. So
I think it's more about your legs than it is the story.
Well, I mean, they do look really good. I'm just saying. I was pretty proud of it. There's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor. It took us hours to do that. It was like 30 minutes to shave the left leg, and what was it, like an hour to an hour and 10 minutes to wax the other one?
It took a long time to wax your leg. Your leg is hairy.
Yeah, and on top of that, Robin was doing it really in small patches. She eventually started doing the long patches, but like
I'm so used to doing the ones with the strips, like the cloth strips, the wax. You put the cloth strips on and then you rip the whole thing off. But when we went to Sally's to go pick up some wax, they're like, here's some hard wax. And I was like, well, all right. And that's the type of wax that you don't have to use a cloth strip on. So I was just like, I've never used this before, but I'm going to just put a little bit on and just rip whatever off.
It was, it wasn't that painful. And in that video, I say like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Cause it's like the lower end of my calf. And then the higher up it went, it got worse and worse and worse. And it was extremely painful, especially near the end when she was doing my knee. That was awful. Like, I was just shouting and hollering, and the dogs in the background were barking. So a lot of stuff got left on the cutting room floor of me in agony. But the end result is pretty good. It was still like a 7-minute video, too. We realized we're going to have so much to edit. Shout out to Liz for doing the editing for us. We appreciate it. But yeah, that was it was fun to do. It was fun content. But at the same time, I hope whatever you guys encourage us to do next is not nearly as painful. Robin, I'm not going to say Robin got off easy because she got to sing for the February goal. Because that's, scary. I probably wouldn't do that. But she nailed it too, so it wasn't nearly as painful as what I went through. Although it probably took just about as long. So
it took me like 3 hours.
She was like, I'm gonna nail this. I have this really cute soundbite where she was recording, and she refused to let me stay in the studio with her while she recorded it. So I had to go out there and sit and wait for her to tell me she was done. So she was deleting each take and starting again from the beginning, instead of like letting me stay in here where I could capture all the parts she nailed and just like get to the part where she needed to repeat. So she had to do a fresh take every single time. And the one that's up on YouTube that you guys heard, I almost uploaded it with a soundbite at the very beginning. Shout out to Feedback for donating $40. You are amazing. We love you. He said, thanks for the stickers. You guys are actually the best. I think Robin's the best.
Thank you so
and I'm
much.
Just here.
I'm glad you appreciate them. And I feel like I need to make you different ones. So we'll see.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Feedback. We appreciate that. But yeah, so she had one take where she just absolutely nailed it. That's the one that's live. But right before she started singing, she was doing this thing where she was like hyping herself up. And I heard it right before I uploaded it because I was listening really closely. And I could just hear like the intro to Frozen playing, or to Let It Go. And she's just going like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And it's just so adorable. I love it. It's like my favorite soundbite of all time. So fun stuff.
More so than that weird musical rendition.
That was fun that I put up there, but the "You Can Do This" was just really good to hear her being super confident was awesome.
I don't know if it was super confident or I had to tell myself that I could do it.
Well, you did, and that's what matters. So let's look over into this YouTube chat. Shout out to Jace, Leave Me Alone, for being first in the chat for both chats. So Twitch chat and YouTube chat, he was first to get there before anyone else. Carly was first in Twitch. He's been there first 4 weeks in a row, and he's saying that he's trying to make sure he keeps the streak alive. So solid stuff. Good job, Jace.
Let's see. Kinetic Aesthetic says you look cute.
Thank you very much.
You should stand up and show your actual whole thing.
I don't want to do that.
You have to. That was the thing.
I don't remember that being the thing, but I'll stand up. You keep reading stuff.
All right. Let's see. Spooky Zora asks, how smooth are your legs?
Very.
They were very smooth as soon as we did it. And now they're
Charms.
one of them. You can see all the hair.
Right there. It's really, really good. That's all you're getting.
But so one of the legs is still smooth, granted a little bit patchy, and then the other one is starting to get super prickly. And
it is getting prickly, that is for sure.
So Carly asked if the feeling of smooth legs on clean sheets was the best.
It was terrifying. It was weird. It's like my legs don't feel normal. Like, here's a good example. Like, I know that I don't want to get ingrowns, and I know that you're supposed to exfoliate. So the next day I took like a really hot bath and scrubbed my legs because I don't want a bunch of ingrowns because I have a lot of hair on my legs. And it was weird because when I put my leg into the water the first time, like, I could feel the heat sensation in a weird way. And at the same time, it's like, it doesn't feel the same way it feels when you have hair. Like, it's just completely different. So it just felt really weird. Everything felt foreign that's touching. Like, I was wearing jeans, like, feeling the denim against my skin. I'm like, ooh, like, this feels weird. So yeah, it was very odd.
I like the feeling of putting pants on right after because it's like smooth on fabric and you're just sliding your, I don't know, I think it feels nice.
Like the way it feels my leg on my leg. Like, when I cross my legs over, it feels just really nice.
I
and
like
it's
the
also,
way you work it.
I hate you. It's also really cold. Like, I've noticed that I'm chillier now in the room with the fan on. That doesn't mean I turned off the fan. But I understand why Robin always says she's cold. It's because I'm covered in a forever sweater is what I like to call it. So shout out to Vogue Hawaii who just subscribed over on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Zwazzle says that they wanted to check in for the cheerleader moment, but they have to go. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, Zwazzles. We appreciate it.
Let's see.
Shout out to Kat. Shout out to Nat. Shout out to Glitch. Shout out to everyone who's over there in the YouTube chat.
Zora says, I have to keep hiding those Momo posts on Facebook because my imagination is way too extensive.
100% true. I have gotten onto our Scarish Spooky Friends group on Facebook 3 times and had the Momo thing pop up, whether it was the first post or the second post. Every time it's new in our feed and I go on there and I see it, everything else below that picture will not load. Like, it happened to me the first time. I'm like, oh, my stupid phone. And then, like, I went back to it eventually and, like, the full thing loaded and it wasn't there anymore. It was, like, further down. And then today earlier, someone posted about it again, and I went to look at it, and there was, like, one post, then the Momo post, and then nothing would load below it. It's like it keeps, like, killing my page off. And then just before we went on the air, I went on to check and see if my Facebook feed would load, and it has the Momo one right at the top, and nothing below it will load. And then it was, like, flickering. The page was, like, turning off and then turning back on again. It's really
creepy.
Bizarre stuff.
I posted a picture of my sister and I FaceTiming last night because we were talking about that video that she had to edit. And I didn't even realize that the face that she made looks like Momo. So when my friend posted, it was like, oh my gosh, it looks like Momo. I freaked out. I was like, what are the freaking odds? But it's a very creepy picture.
It is. It's very... I mean, like, Liz's looks, like, weird, but, like, the Momo, the actual Momo thing is really, really creepy. Thank you, Jay, saying I'm rocking the look. Jace also said, today's been kind of stressful. How about you guys? I agree. I had a lot to do today. I had a lot to get set up, and then, like, pieces were missing, and we had to, like, jerry-rig the studio. We don't know where the mounting shoe is for the camera, so it's using masking tape again. If the camera falls, then you know exactly why. It looks like it's sprained an ankle because of the way it's dressed up over there. So, yeah, I totally understand. Leo Chacha says he's been up since 4:30 a.m. Stress is eating at me. I think it's just a high-stress time right now. Jay says he's getting ready for his Disney audition, so his stress is high.
I hope
That's
you
super
get it.
cool.
That's
yeah,
really
absolutely.
Cool. If you're a character, you should let us know so we can come and see you. That'd be cool. Pave Paradise says, love the uniform, Adam.
Thank you.
Two's Cat says, you look like one of their high school students.
Well, I appreciate that I look young and not 33. Alexandra has also joined us over in YouTube, so thank you for being here. We appreciate you. There's a lot to this name. It's Al-Wahib Akbar. I'm going to call you Akbar. I hope you don't mind. It says, I'm in class right now. I think I have my priorities straight, smiley face.
That's
you
hilarious.
Certainly do.
Abe's Monster says, the first time I saw the Momo picture, I had trouble sleeping.
That's creepy,
yeah,
dude.
when I saw that post and saw that people were putting like that picture in YouTube videos, like kids' YouTube videos and stuff, or I think someone in that article that I read, a 12-year-old killed herself.
That's really messed up.
Yeah, because she was talking to this person that was acting as Momo, and so it's
a really bizarre thing that it's not very cool. Shout out to Heartland Media who just followed us on Twitch. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Alexander says, I need to ask you two, Adam and Robin, what kind of shirts do you prefer and what size? That's very sweet of you to say something like that. It sounds like you're trying to send us something. I wear XXL. I'm on my way down to XL. Let's say XXL for now. And I'm good with whatever kind of shirt. Robin, what about you?
What kind of shirt
do you want to message them privately, or do you want to share your size?
Oh no,
on
I'm
the air?
huge. So, well, okay, I'm not
huge,
but I do not fit medium shirts. I used to in my younger days, but I am now an XL. Definitely a women's XL, XXL, and then like a men's large, generally. So, and I like V-necks. V-necks are comfy.
V-necks
for
are
me.
comfy.
So
I'm good either way.
It's
a lot of talk about some schoolwork going on over there. It's nice to see that you guys are still in school, even though you're watching us. Kat says, at Scarish, oh, thank you for your gift. Was having a poopy day, but your freaking adorable sticker brightened my day. Well, thank you.
Sweet.
We appreciate that you enjoy things that we send you. And there's a little bit of discussion on Momo. Kita Vinyas over there says, I've seen a fake video of Momo where it runs at the camera, and I know it was fake, but I flinched so bad. It's hard not to flinch at those. It really is.
We were watching Jaws last night, and there's a point
the movie
where
is so good, dude.
They're like just setting up the barrels or whatever to shoot at Jaws, right? And Jaws like comes out of the water. He
breaches really fast, yeah.
And I freaked out.
She jumped like just violently, like she was like, I don't want to watch this. Oh! And I was just like, did you do that on purpose to mess with me, or were you really scared? And she was like, I was messing with. No, I was really scared. It's like she considered lying about it for a minute, and then she was like, no, I'll tell the truth. That's everything I have for YouTube chat. So just let me know when you're done with Twitch chat.
Spooky Zora says they're sad that that person's art that they made for that horror art
has
become something
associated
with
this. Yeah.
And Carly says she doesn't let her kids watch YouTube unless she's right next to them. I think that's a really good idea.
It is smart
because your kids could get into some strange YouTube hole, and you don't want that.
They're very easy to fall down. We've briefly considered having a show where we would like all purposely fall down an internet hole and then report back with our findings.
Yeah.
We never went forward with the idea, but it was a solid thing. It's like basically what you fall into when you should be working type of thing. But we wound up doing Scarish instead. So.
Yeah. And Jessie Cat says, my Scariest shirt shipped. I'm so excited. I'm really excited to see what it looks like. Because when we do services like Teespring, I don't know what it's going to end up looking like when they create the product. I wish they would send you like a free one so you could see the quality or something like that, but hopefully it looks really cute. I really want you guys to like the things that they make.
We're more excited for you guys to get Scarish merchandise than you are, and that's the 100% truth of the matter.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So it's your turn to read.
Awesome. So
are you gonna do your long one first, or?
No, I'm not.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna do it my way. So I'm going to go ahead and move into my first email of the show, and this one's subject is please feel free to share. And I appreciate that subject because I don't have to worry that we're reading something we shouldn't be. And it starts out like this. Hey, Adam and Robin.
Hey.
Hello. Oh, and I'm going to say Adam's name first because everyone always says hi, Robin and Adam. I'm so glad they noticed. That makes me feel good. So I found your podcast on Spotify. Shout out to Spotify. And I'm listening right now. I live in Alaska.
That's amazing.
It's amazing that they live in Alaska?
I just think it's cool because, like, I honestly do not meet people from Alaska very often.
It's pretty far away.
Yeah, so, I mean, what's it like living there?
It is really nice to get emails from people all over the world. It really is. So, let's keep going. At the time, that's how this sentence starts. So, at the time, I was at my...
Read.
I hate you so much. So, at the time,
TLDR.
So at the time, I was at my grandma's old people home. There were, I mean, you could technically call any home an old person was in an old people home.
That's fucked up.
So there were 3 floors. On the first floor, there's a big TV. On the second floor, there's exercise equipment. And on the third floor, there's just nothing, just apartments. But my friends and I were bullshitting around, and we were screwing around with a ghost hunter app. That's a weird thing to do in an old folks' home.
I've heard a lot of people do that, though. Like, there's apps that allow you to speak to spirits, but I don't know how it works. I don't understand
what
the technology.
Happens is you buy the app, and then you have something that's fake on your phone, and they run with your money. That's what those things are. So they're using the Ghost Hunter app. Nothing happened. We walked down the hall and played with the app. By the time we got to the first floor, we were done. One of the girls, let's call her May, asked for one more question. M-A-Y. Asked for one more question. We said yes. We were in front of the TV. We asked, is anyone there? The game said yes. We said, where? It said, in the TV. We asked for a sign, and the TV turned on. I don't know if your app could do that. That's pretty creepy.
I don't think the app would do that, but I think...
The technology is there, but I don't think anyone would do that.
No.
Although it's kind of brilliant if they did. So that's really creepy, though.
What's creepy is if they're actually talking to something that's really there, and they turn their TV on.
Yeah. Obviously.
Because, I mean, in Poltergeist, it happens.
Yeah. Don't get sucked in the TV. And they go on to say...
They're here.
They go on to say, we noped the fuck out. That's good to hear that happened. And you're like, we're good now.
Yeah, but all the old people there are going to die.
I mean, they were already going to die. Let's be real.
What?
Oh, wow. Shocker. Did I just say something that is completely obvious? Seriously, though, I love my grandparents and I miss them. Anyways, thanks for reading this. Please read this on the podcast. I love your podcast. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're amazing at it. Thank you very much. We appreciate you sending that. I like the fact that this happened. You were very skeptical about it, but when something popped off, you're like, I'm good, I'm out. Because I think that's basically the mindset you need to be in if you're going to mess around with that stuff. I think a lot of people, especially when you're younger, are really curious. Like, I wonder if anything like this is actually going to happen. And when you have that mindset, you might get yourself into a little bit of trouble. So it's good to always have like the escape plan in your brain so you can just GTFO if you need to.
Yeah.
So good stuff. So that was a pretty short one, like I promised. So we can look over and see if Stream Chat has anything extra to add because that one was fairly short.
All right. Talking about internet holes, YouTube holes. Carly says there's such a slippery slope. They really are. Because I had Adam watching one Brandon Ferris video, and then we went down this hole of a whole bunch of them. And
is that the guy from the South?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's amazing. I love him.
He's hilarious.
He's so good. I will willingly watch every single piece of content that guy produces because his personality just shines through.
I love his personality. I wish we were as funny.
All right, Akbar says like Admiral Akbar, so I'm just gonna call you Akbar, bro.
It's a tarp.
It's a tarp. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. People are saying, what does Momo look like? I haven't seen it. Is it like the lemur from Avatar? That's hilarious.
There's a lemur in Avatar?
I mean, they're all like basically human lemurs in Avatar. So Glitch says it was an artist sculpture that was just creeping. Then people took it and made it a creepypasta and then made it like a game. Now it has a life of its own. And it's just a really creepy picture. It's like the new Slenderman type thing, says Jace.
Right. It's like, it's very much like a Slenderman type. Just somebody created this art and then it's taken on a life of its own.
It's just weird how that happens.
Over on Twitch here, it's just talking about urinalysis. I'm sorry you had to do a whole bunch of them. That sounds disgusting because I bet it does not smell good.
I thought at first you said your analysis, and
No.
I was like, what did I analysize? And then I realized it was the analysis of pee.
Pee, 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 pee. All right. I'm done.
Jay says, okay, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I think Robin and Adam sounds better than Adam and Robin. I agree. That's why I do the episode descriptions.
You know why? It's because Batman and Robin had Robin being the butt of everything, and it's time Robin is first.
Plus, Robin leads with all the shows. Like, she introduces us. She's technically the host, and I'm the co-host. So when I do the episode descriptions, when I'm posting stuff, I always put her name first because it just makes the most sense, you know?
I'm the host with the most.
I hate you. The hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree. So, and Admiral Akbar over there agrees as well. So
you're gonna call them Admiral Akbar?
Why not, man? Why not? I love Admiral Akbar. All right, so that's everything I have for YouTube chat. So if you want to move into your second one, go right ahead.
So this one is cool. It starts Aloha, Robin and Adam.
Nice. Aloha.
I love Lilo and Stitch. That movie. I tried to make Adam watch Lilo and Stitch.
I did.
But he didn't enjoy it.
That's not true. I pretended I didn't enjoy it to
Yeah,
upset
but he didn't
you.
even watch till the end.
That's because they had to turn it off. Like, they blame me for natural occurrences where we had to leave.
No, me and Liz, we watched it till the end. Yes, we did.
Keep going.
We fucking watched it till the end.
And then I watched it to the end as well later. Because she
what
was like,
happens at the end?
she's done this to me before. He gets on the spaceship goes down, everything winds up working out.
Okay, and what are they doing at the end?
I don't know.
It's
I know
because you didn't watch it till the
Ohana
end.
means home. That's
No, it doesn't.
What does it mean?
It means family.
To me, Ohana means
Get out.
Chicken katsu curry. That's what it means to me.
No. Get out.
This is my
All
life.
right.
This is my life right here.
Anyway, I'm currently on episode 19 of the podcast after months of listening and trying to catch up with each episode since December of 2018, which is
2 months ago.
2 months ago.
We're into January emails now, folks. So we're not like in the 3-month backlog. We're on a month backlog at this point.
Oh, no.
So we've caught up because we didn't get a lot during the holidays.
All you new listeners that are tuning in for the first time, please send us your stories at storytime@scarish.com.
And those of you who are like, I'll send you another one, or have been like, I'll send one eventually, I just have to sit down and write it.
Send it to us.
Now's the time to do it.
Now is the time. There's no time like
Carpe D's nuts. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Anyway, so December 2018, I found your show on Spotify, so woot woot.
Shout out Spotify.
First of all, you can totally read this on the show. That'd be pretty cute. Here it is. We're being cute.
Fun.
Oh no.
What'd you do?
I pressed something.
Okay, I'm gonna mark this. She just accidentally moved off of her email.
Okay.
No big deal. She's getting back to it.
Second of all, my absolute fave episode is when you guys had your Hawaii ghost stories with your friend from Hawaii.
A lot of people really like that episode.
What
Amanda's a shit,
yeah,
dude.
He's very charismatic and his stories were very entertaining. We really have to get our friend Ralph on because he has a great...
He has really good stories too. And the thing about Amanda and Ralph in particular is that when they tell you their stories, there's something about them where you just really do believe them. You're like, that sounds like it actually happened, and that is messed up stuff. So we got to have Mondo on again. We have to have Ralph on, like, period.
And I want to have my cousin on one of these episodes too.
David?
Yeah.
I'd be totally down having David on. David's great.
By the way, my name is Joe, and I'm from the Big Island. Awesome.
What
I've never been to the Big Island. I've been to every single island except for the Big Island. When I was, I want to say 12, my whole family went and left me because I had school. So I was just like, well, I mean, I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
All right. Like that episode of Top Chef where he's like, can you guys help me carry this stuff? And everyone ignores him. He's like, okay, I'll just go fuck myself then.
So, you're right. They all went to go see the volcano and all the cool stuff. And I'm just like sitting there like, I guess I'm not going to go. And so I've never been. And now I'm turning 30.
It is sad that they left you behind, but they did leave you behind on Maui, right? The other like really nice island. They're all really nice, I think. I mean, I've never been, and she says I'm never allowed to go. So
I hate it. I mean, okay, I don't hate being in Hawaii.
She has
enjoy
an
it.
Island full of exes that she'd prefer for me to not visit.
Yeah, you know how people say all my exes live in Texas? No, they live in Hawaii, and I don't want to go back there. I really enjoy hanging out there. They do have a lot more comic conventions and stuff than when I used to live there.
We talked to a guy
great.
out here, that was talking about how he makes really good money out in Hawaii.
Right, and I just think it's really cool. I enjoy the beaches and shopping and all that stuff. Waikiki, I love you. But I just don't want to run into people. That's
fine.
I mean, it happens.
Let's get back to this email, shall we?
Anyway.
I don't know how we got on this tangent.
This isn't Hawaii specific, but I wanted to share with you my first clearly remembered sleep paralysis when I was in college at Manoa. My roommates... Oh, this is why you sent it to me, didn't you?
I had no idea.
Okay.
You just needed a long one, so I sent you a long
right.
one. Which you're leading... Oh, no, this is your second email, so whatever.
My roommates and I went out to Cafe Kyla for breakfast, and we had to wake up early to not get stuck in a long line because it's somewhat of a popular place. At least it was back in 2014. When we got back to our dorm, we all went back to sleep, and it was after 7:30 a.m., and I was dead tired and also possibly having a Kanak attack. Okay.
Please explain.
So a Kanak attack is like you eat a whole bunch, and right after you eat, you're just like, I need to take a nap.
It's the itis.
Yes.
He got that itis.
So in Hawaii we call it a knack attack.
That's catchier, I'd say. So.
I like it.
I saw that in the email because for whatever reason, when I went to forward it to you, it highlighted it like it was a hyperlink. So I don't know if he actually made it a hyperlink to like let us know what a knack attack was, but I was just like, oh, that's weird. And I'd sent it as like normal text, so it broke the link. So I don't know. I'm glad you knew what it was.
I went to sleep, and that's when I had this abnormal dream. This isn't the first time I've had a sleep paralysis dream, but it had been a long time since then. I fake woke up and was very aware of where I was on my dorm bed and how I was positioned. So naturally, I think I'm awake. Then, all of a sudden, everything is slow motion, and I see a long white pillow that's against the wall that I don't have in real life. And I see it hovering over me like it's falling on me. Then it completely covers my head, and I feel this evil presence, and I realize that the pillow isn't falling from the wall, but that someone or something is forcing it over my head to try and suffocate me.
I have that dream a lot, too, except it's Robin, and I'm holding the pillow. Just kidding. Obviously.
Get out. At first, I pull away, but that's when everything is in full slow motion again, and I try to scream, but whatever comes out is muffled, like as if I'm underwater, and you can't hear anything clearly. Have you ever done that before? Like put your head under the water, but have your face outside the water, but your ears and stuff are underwater, so you can hear everything.
I don't scream, but yeah, I've done it like in the tub or whatever.
Well, not scream, but like you can hear all the weird
like,
sounds.
I usually like sing or hum like da 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 da, and underneath the water it's like. That's my tractor beams theme too.
Okay. I can't move or speak or scream, and it gets harder and harder to breathe, and my heart starts pounding fast, and then the ominous shadow behind my pillow gets darker and bigger as it pushes against me. This happened for a few long seconds, and finally I wake up for real, and I'm looking around, feeling that evil presence around me, and I try my hardest to shake off the dream, but I'm so unbelievably tired, so there's nothing to do but go back to sleep again. My mistake. Oh, yeah.
The worst thing is falling back into a bad dream.
When I'm having a nightmare and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to take this blanket away from my face because I feel like I'm going to see something I don't want to see. And then you go back into it again and then you're just like, wait, great. This is just as bad as if I had opened my eyes and saw something.
I feel like it's always comical falling back into a nightmare because you wake up. Sometimes you go and do something like maybe go pee or like get a glass of water. Then you fall back asleep. And like the moment when you like get back into the dream, I feel like everyone does this thing where they like look around and you're aware you're dreaming for half a second. You're like, well, shit. And then you forget you're asleep and you just fall back into the nightmare.
Yeah. I forget where I am. Okay, so being cautious, I turn the other way with my back towards the wall this time. I close my eyes and have this regular yet scary-ish
well done
dream, but it was just a dream nonetheless, so I don't make it a big deal. And then I start to fake wake up again, and this time I'm fully aware of where I'm positioned on my bed and know that it's a different position from the first time, so I try to sit up. But then everything turns back to slow motion and something is physically holding me back this time. I can't open my eyes. Other times that I've had sleep paralysis, I find it difficult to open my eyes. So I'm doing everything I can to open my goddamn eyes, using every bit of my strength, but nothing. I start calling out for help because my suite mates are in the other room. So I'm yelling for them. But
suite mates means like sweet, S-U-I-T-E mates,
yeah,
right?
Right.
It's not just a Hawaii term where you call your friends like S-W-E-E-T mates.
Yeah.
That would be fucking cool, though. You're my sweet mate.
Aw. So I'm yelling for them, but then my mouth is being forced shut.
That's creepy.
I can't imagine having this like sleep paralysis where you're like, I can't move, can't open my eyes, can't open my mouth. But what is worse, not being able to open your mouth or screaming and having nothing come out?
I don't know. I think screaming and having nothing come out isn't as bad because if your mouth is open, at least you can breathe. I feel like if my mouth was closed, I'd be worried I was going to suffocate. I mean, even though you can breathe through your nose like a normal person. But
all right.
It's just one thing, like one extra layer of terror where it's like, I can't make sound and I can't breathe through my mouth. So it's like all they need to do is just pinch your nose and you're dead. So that's what it would be for me.
Do you think if they tried to pinch your nose and so you couldn't breathe that you would wake up because
instinctively your mouth would open? I don't know.
Kind of like that episode of Doctor Who with the blood magic where it's like the very first episode of the season with David Tennant.
Right.
And they try to make everyone like jump off the roof
it's
or whatever.
All a bluff.
Yeah, but you can't make someone
kill themselves.
I think that's kind of the thing where it's like they might hold your breath or make you hold your breath. And so you're like having a hard time breathing or you can't breathe. And then you just wake up because that's just, you can't.
Let's hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Because then maybe David Tennant will show up in pajamas and save you.
That's my theory. Ooh, come save me, David Tennant.
Wow.
Fuck. Okay.
She's all hot and bothered now. She can't find her spot.
In another time I've had sleep paralysis, my mouth had been sewn shut. That's creepy. It's like both my eyes and mouth are melting into my face and I can't feel them anymore. And then finally I get my voice to sound through this big ass mess that's happening to my body. And I'm calling out my roommate's name over and over again, but she can't hear me because my voice is so weak and my back is half off the bed. Trying to pull away from my mattress, but it's still in slow motion and taking forever and too much effort, like I'm being dragged back to sleep so that I'll never be able to fully regain consciousness and slip into a coma.
There's always a weird fear for
it's
me
like
when
giving me anxiety.
When I'm really tired or when I'm waking up from a dream and I'm in sleep paralysis, that's the fear I get. I don't typically hallucinate and I don't think I'm going to like die. Sometimes I'm worrying that I'm not breathing and then I'm like, no, I'm okay. But I'm always worried to go back to sleep. I really feel like if I go back to sleep, like something bad will happen, or I'm going to fall into a coma, or I'll die. That's the anxiety I get from sleep paralysis. And I've learned to like tell myself, like, you've gotten this before, you will be fine. And I still fight it as hard as I can. So I totally understand that.
Again, after what I believe is the longest time, I finally open my eyes in real life. I'm still so freaking tired, but I'm too scared to go back to sleep. And it's probably been an hour since I got home. So, to keep myself awake, I begin Googling and reading forums about sleep paralysis, and I put
it's not going to make it better.
And I put my speakers on so I can listen to music, but I had never been so exhausted in my life. I'm just thinking about that one movie we watched with Maggie Q.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's all about sleep paralysis.
It's all about sleep paralysis.
We recommended it on our last episode,
yeah,
or the episode before that one.
But her kid, spoilers.
No, this is spoilers for the end of the movie. So.
Yeah. Her kid sees her tablet and is starting to go through all her research that she's been doing on the sleep paralysis demon. And it gets her kid. So
it doesn't get her kid. Like since we're doing full-blown spoilers, she realizes at some point that when she was a little girl, she heard her brother singing a lullaby before he died under mysterious circumstances. And the people she's helping sing that lullaby too because they're battling the same demon. At the end of the movie, she's on like a Skype call and the daughter says she's having trouble sleeping, and then right before the movie ends, she starts humming that theme song, and Maggie Q freaks out because she's like, it's gonna get my daughter.
She's like, where'd she learn that song?
Yeah, so that's
I love Maggie
what that
Q. I love her in Nikita.
I loved her in Stalker. She's
very good in Stalker.
The show was really good, actually.
That is a show that should have had another season.
I was shocked that it got
when
canceled,
it got canceled. I was like, really? This show is amazing.
It's like there's 17 CSIs, but you're not going to renew Stalker?
Yeah.
Like, what the F?
Oh my goodness. Stalker is so good. Whoever is a producer, please bring that show back.
They don't watch this shit. They don't listen to it either.
Anyway, all right. Moving on. Anyway, since then, I've had many more sleep paralysis episodes, and in 2018, a coworker and I had talked about sleep paralysis. She told me that her brother studied in a monastery in China as a monk, and he told her the secret to getting out of sleep paralysis.
Please share it with us and all of our listeners. I think we all need to know this.
The trick is...
oh, man. I'm going to put like beep over this part right now so all the listeners are like, God damn it.
The trick is focus on your pinky. I know it sounds crazy, but you're supposed to focus on your pinky fingers and move them. And for some reason, this will break the sleep paralysis. I'm completely skeptical, but willing to try. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do anything. Who wouldn't, right? Nobody wants to experience sleep paralysis. And if you can get out of it faster without seeing creepy things, I'm all for it.
It reminds me of Kill Bill. Like, wiggle your big toe. Except it's your pinky
wiggle,
fingers.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yeah.
I'm going to think that in my head the next time, actually. No matter what, if I try and do the pinky thing, I'll be like, wiggle, 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 yeah, yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the next time I have sleep paralysis, a month or so after that conversation, I'm in bed and it's dark and I can't speak and I can't move and it's dark and scary. So I remember the pinky trick. I try to wiggle it, but for some reason I don't have fingers.
That's fucking awful.
That's horrible.
So much for the secret.
It's like they know. It's like, oh, you think this is a trick? watch, we're going to take all your fingers away.
If that was in a movie, you'd start wiggling it, and then the old hag would show up with, like, garden shears and just cut off your pinkies. Yeah, that's
Why?
right.
Nightmares.
That's right. Take that.
Oh, my God.
Enjoy sleeping, people.
In this sleep paralysis dream, I'm looking at my hands, but my hands are invisible. I move my pinky, and it looks like the space where my hands should be is moving around, like a mirage or a glitch in the system.
That's funny.
It's hard to explain, but even if I couldn't see it, I knew that I was mentally moving my pinky finger. And for some reason, the entire space around me was shattering as I focused on my pinky finger movement. I'm like, oh my God, it's working. So I focused harder, and it looked like the space-time continuum was about to break. And then, bam, I legit woke up, and the first thing I do is check if I still have fingers.
That's funny.
So it worked.
It's like having
That's
the dream
really
where
cool.
you lose your teeth, too. The first thing you do when you wake up is to check and see if they've fallen out or if they're loose or whatever.
I've
That's
never
a
had
horrible-
that dream. I'm
That's
good.
a horrible dream. I hate it.
I always dream I fly out of cars into the ocean, or my car drives off a cliff into the ocean, or I have to drive around a very steep cliff. Lots of cliffs. And I think it's because I grew up in Maui.
I was going to say, yeah.
So
I've had a dream, I think I've talked about it before, where I was like driving on the Skyway, like in Chicago, which is very high, and it was just going up and up and up.
It
and
wasn't
I
a
realized,
highway?
no,
Get
I
it?
realized it's a Skyway because it's in the sky. It's higher than a highway. So I looked up and I realized that it was like an on-ramp that kept going up like endlessly. And I've always had dreams like that. And for whatever reason, this was recently, like when I was having that dream, I started going up it, and I stopped my car in the middle of the freeway, and I was like, you know what? Screw this. And I turned around and drove in the opposite direction of traffic because I was like, I would rather crash head on than get any higher than this. And my dream changed after that. So totally worked.
Okay.
Take control, people.
I don't know if it was purely because of the pinky trick, but I'm definitely going back to using that trick next time that I have sleep paralysis. And maybe some of your listeners might find it helpful.
I would recommend that you folks try it and let us
try
know.
It's never going to hurt to have something to try.
Use hashtag pinky trick and let us know whether or not it worked.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Hashtag pinky trick. That sounds weird.
It sounds dirty. I know what you're really trying to say.
Anyway, I've got tons of stories to share, so hopefully I'll write again soon. Thanks for sharing your podcast. You guys are funny as hell, and I love Robin's laugh and the subtle gender nonconforming inclusivity when you guys talk. Thank you.
We try.
For the longest time, I'd been searching for a creepy podcast that wasn't just people reading ghost stories in a shitty voice.
Same.
Man, I'm just like those poor people. Because there's so many. We started listening to a podcast, and I forget which podcast it was, on our most recent road trip. And as soon as we heard the voice, we were just like, nope.
Really?
Yeah. Because we were listening to a lot of Ear Biscuits. And then there was one I tried to start. And it was like super serious.
I do remember this, yeah.
And we're
oh,
just
yeah.
like,
I totally remember that. It's a popular one, too.
yeah, but we couldn't listen to it. It's just like that it has to be, to me, it has to be a very natural conversation.
Yeah.
And that's why I really like Ear Biscuits, because it's like they're just having conversation.
Right.
And I don't know. It just really depends. Like, that's why I like My Favorite Murder too, because they're covering.
They're telling each other stories.
Right.
Which is similar to our format. I mean, it's a big inspiration to us because you want to talk about a serious topic you've done research on, but you don't want it to be like rhetorical or like you're doing a speaking engagement or like really overly dramatic like that one podcast. I don't even remember what it was anymore. So yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, I just wanted people with opinions and personality sharing thoughts of what they just read. So thank you for making my workday so much easier to get through. Keep on creeping on, babes. Mahalo, Joe.
Mahalo. Thank you so much for sending that. We appreciate you, Joe.
Thank you.
So I started doing this thing. I should have been doing this whole time, but when we're going to read one of the stories on Storytime, I'm going to send an email to whoever sent it and let you folks know, like, hey, after it's been edited and formatted and everything, and my mom was like, it's good to go.
Oh, you did that today?
Yeah, I sent emails and I said, hey, just so you know, we're going to be doing this live tonight, so if you want to watch. And we have someone over there, Vogue Hawaii, who subscribed over on YouTube.
What?
And they said, yes, it worked that time. Fire. I'll have to use that trick again, but I'm not hard-pressed to have sleep paralysis to see if it was really the trick that worked. So that's them. So thank you so much for joining us. And it's really nice because I just imagine that most people would kind of tune in, but we had such a big backlog, and now that like the fluctuation is happening, we're going to try and let you folks know when your stories are going to be read. It'll be like same-day notification. It won't be like 3 weeks down the line we'll be reading it, because sometimes
we can't.
We don't read the stories when they come in.
Yeah.
We send them to my mother to read, to edit them, because she's so nice. She's the podcast mom. And so she'll send them back to us, and that happens all on the day we're going to go live. So sometimes we'll send stuff, and she'll be like, oh, we've already read this, or stuff like, oh, this one needs editing, or we need to reply to them and ask them a few questions. And if that's the case, then we don't want to send like emails not knowing in the future like if your episode is going to get delayed or move forward or whatever the case may be. So we're going to let you know same day that we'll be reading it. So you do have like a 2-day warning before it goes live. Or I should say you have a 2-day warning before it comes out in podcast form on Fridays. But if you want to watch that same day, we'll let you know like 2 to 4 hours in advance.
I just want to stick my finger in your mouth.
She's so weird, dude. Like she does it all the time. Like I'll be talking and she'll stick her finger in my mouth, or like she'll come home and be like, can I have a hug? And she's like, lift your shirt. I want to see your nipples. And I'm just like, stop assaulting me.
Why are you showing my weird personality?
You just showed it and I just elaborated on it. So
okay. Spooky Zora says chicken katsu curry sounds delicious.
See, right? Ohana means chicken katsu curry.
No, it doesn't. Two's Cat says I need to send one about my prophetic dreams, but I'm lazy.
No, dude.
You should totally send it in.
I've had a few of them, but they've been like really small, stupid things that have happened. But I like realized like I dreamt this before, so I really enjoy listening to those ones.
Carly asks if anyone's watched Mary and the Witch's Flower. I have not watched it yet. We've been watching Umbrella Academy a whole bunch. We finished that one.
It is very similar to Heroes and a few other shows, but it's also its own thing.
Yeah, and then I started watching Man in the High Castle, which looks really good. But I've mostly been reading. I haven't been watching too much anime, which I should be. I should especially be watching My Hero Academia. But I'm not. I need to watch more anime is what I'm saying. I'm shaming myself.
That's funny. I just scrolled to the top of my YouTube chat that it'll allow me to see, and because you guys talk so much, the top thing I can see is from Akbar, and it says, I teach but also attend class, and I think that's very cool.
Nice.
And people are discussing a little bit of stuff as well. Vogue Hawaii says, LMFAO fail, Adam. That was definitely for the Ohana means home thing, which is just funny. So, and then Kita says, LMAO, their bickering is always so cute. I'm glad that you enjoy it because someone needs to.
I need to strangle him is what I need to do.
She just always takes things so personally. She doesn't remember a word I say. Like, you guys have witnessed it before on live shows. Like, I'll say something to her and she'll just be like, huh? And, like, that happens a lot. And I don't take it personally. I just move on. But if I say something wrong, if I misquote one of her favorite movies, she gets so mad. I'm watching the monitor and I can see your lips moving.
Don't look at them. Anyway, okay. Continuing on. Zora says, I just got freaked out because I have plants that move at night and they keep making scraping noises against curtains when they move. I always am very interested in plants and their ability to move towards the sun and things like that, because it's cool because I'll have a plant and it'll be facing one way and then I'll rotate it and then I'll check on it the next day and it's the flower has like turned back to the sun, and it's the coolest thing. Plants are just super neat.
Vogue Hawaii says, come visit. The volcano stopped, so it's safe now.
There are plants that naturally fold up at night. What is this magic?
They bloom and then they close. Yeah, when the sun comes out, they open back up. And they
it's
close.
like that. What is that movie? You know what movie?
Little Shop of Horrors.
No.
Feed me, Seymour.
Dennis the Menace, where that guy has the plant that only opens up once every 50 years.
Oh yeah, is it 50?
It's like once every ridiculous amount of years, and it only opens for a certain amount of time. And he's been watering this plant forever. And it only opens for like a minute and then it wilts. And he gets pissed because he doesn't get to see.
He misses it.
Yes.
Because of that menace, Dennis.
Gosh dang it,
Jay
Dennis.
says, the story is going by fast and I don't know how I feel about it. So, yep, some of them are quick. Some of them are long. Some of them just, they go fast. That was a long email, but it seemed like it went pretty quick. So, Kat says, send longer stories. I totally agree. Everyone's always worried, like, I'm sorry that this was long. It's like, no, make it as long as you need to. We don't mind at all.
Albrain says, dope outfit, compliments your lips.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Got some nice, luscious lips.
I cannot wait to not wear this anymore. I've been like not dreading it, but just aware that I'm going to have to pull this out of the closet and finally put it on. And it's on. And then next episode, I get to wear normal clothes again. So fun stuff. We really did crush our goal this month, though. Thanks to all you folks who've donated. What?
Oh, no. I just read what Chessie Katz just said. She said that I'm so happy that they renewed the Umbrella Academy for a second season.
That's nice to know.
I am so happy. I'm very happy for Gerard Way, but I'm very pissed that people are like, who's Gerard Way, the creator of Umbrella Academy? I'm like,
I love the meme where it's like, he didn't become the leader of the broken, the beaten, and the damned.
Yeah.
just to be called the guy who wrote Umbrella Academy.
I love My Chemical Romance, so it's so like annoying for me that people are like, who's this Gerard Way person? And if you guys have Kindle Unlimited, which I don't get paid to advertise, but I do have, you can read all the Umbrella Academy comic books, graphic book novels on there.
Shout out to M Meadows 89 who just subscribed
Thank
on
you so much.
Twitch Prime. Thank you. We love you. We'll see you soon. I know you said you're going to get a hold of me to let me know when we could plan it because Amanda won the coaster last time. So awesome. Sakura over in YouTube says, cheerleader song is stuck in my head now. Thanks, Adam. You're welcome. I haven't done any of my cheers, and I prepared a few.
Cheerleader song? Which one?
I don't know. I don't know which one she's referring to.
Is bananas.
It's not a cheerleader song.
B-N-A-N-A-S.
I was thinking like, U-G-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. Ooh, ooh, you ugly. Robin doesn't like that one. And then there's the one from like the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where it's like, how funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? Our goose is totally loose. If my daughter said that in a high school cheer, I'd be like, get off the stage. What are you doing? I'm ashamed of you. And then, of course, be aggressive. I'll do that one later and get them all stuck in her head. So I'm going to keep going.
Let's see. Oh, so they're talking about the whole losing your teeth in a dream. One person said it means you're going to get money. One says that means you're really stressed. I'm down with the money part.
I was going to say, in my next
dream... That's
dream,
probably why I'm broke, because I haven't had a dream with that happen.
In my next dream, I'm going to knock all my teeth out and just hope that money comes my way, like try and force its hand. Jace says, I'm the father of YouTube chat now. There was some reference to like family texting, and Akbar said, are we family now? And now everyone's just saying like YouTube fam.
Neon Scars says, I had a dream where I didn't have part of my leg, and even after I woke up, I was still really skeptical if my leg was real. Thanks, brain.
That's funny. Hear those really cool motorcycle guys going by outside? Their penises must be so huge, or that's what they want you to think.
Kat says, I've heard losing teeth in your dream meant you're concerned about your health. I believe it.
Alexis over on YouTube says, last time I had sleep paralysis, there was my old friend, the Hat Man, but he brought along his grandma with an axe. That sucks. That's a horrible sleep paralysis experience. Yeah. So try the pinky trick. Tell us if it works.
Jang Mi asked if this is the outfit. And
it
yes,
is.
This is the outfit.
I showed off my legs earlier. I don't know if Jang Mi was here when I did that.
Well, Jang Mi, you can just, once we upload this to YouTube, you can watch it later.
I'm sure Robin's going to make me take a picture as well after the show. We always take a picture post-show of us like coming down off the high. So.
Okay. All right.
Jay said, you're always loved here. And Akbar said, smiling like a dumbass right now. You are not a dumbass. You're just smiling.
Tooscat says, mine is the only positive outcome for the losing teeth thing. I'd rather have money. Me too.
Alexander says, sleep paralysis is almost everyday thing for me. I'm pretty sure Alexander has narcolepsy, right? She's mentioned to us before.
Someone, yes, has narcolepsy. I don't remember, though.
I think it's Alexander. If not, I'm sorry that I've forgotten, but I think I'm right on this one.
Spooky Zora says...
Yep, she just said it right there. I'm just scrolling through.
Oh, okay. Spooky Zora says, Heart You Podcast Mom. Who's Podcast Mom?
Probably my mom.
Carly?
I said Podcast Mom was my mom, so...
Oh, I see. Okay.
Bo Kawai says, thanks for reading. I have to go work out now, but we'll tune in to the Spotify version on Friday during work. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Very happy that you joined us to hear your story read. It was very fun.
Chessy Cat says, I've been rewatching Game of Thrones. We haven't watched Game of Thrones yet. We only have a month and a half before we have to be ready.
April is Avengers Infinity War and the beginning of the last season of Game of Thrones. It's going to be a good month.
Albrain says, Adam shaved his legs and his face.
I did.
He did shave his face for a job interview, though, so that's why.
Just keeping it to myself. Thank you, though.
Oh, okay.
I feel the more people I tell, the more people are like, oh, I hope that works out. And then the more people I have to disappoint when I'm like, they decided that they hated me. So fingers crossed, though. We'll see what happens with it.
I just read something and I've misplaced it. Oh, Wabe says, have you seen Violet Evergarden? I haven't yet. There are so many things on Netflix that I haven't watched yet, and I really, really should. And what's funny is instead of starting something new, I was like, I'll watch Man to Man again for the second time, which is such a good, cute Korean drama that's super short. What is his name? Park Hae-jin is just so cute, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I really should be watching like Sword Online season 3 or like
or
all
2.
these, or all these new things, and I'm just like, I'll just watch something all over again.
So Glitch
I don't know.
says, is it the corpse flower? That's a real flower. I watched the bloom on YouTube, LOL. Leo Chacha also said, like, right around the same time, Robin, there's a plant called the prayer plant, and it opens in the day and closes at night. So there you go.
Let's see. I think plants are the coolest thing. Carly says, I've only ever been able to keep a fern alive. Silent Picture says a snake plant.
Chris says, your boy looking like a snack out here. That's hilarious. And Jay says, Adam loves the cheerleader outfit. I can't wait to take it off. I didn't get pom-poms. I considered it. It's not itchy at all, actually. It's fine. I don't know. It's I said this earlier, like, it's bullshit. This thing doesn't have pockets. It's a joke. And Robin's like, yeah, now you know what girls go through. I was trying to, like, make that joke. And she got, like, super annoyed at me. So I have my cell phone hidden in my cleavage. No big deal.
I go out of my way to buy dresses with pockets. I will literally, if I'm shopping online, I'll type in dresses with pockets because I love it. I love when there are things that are cute but also functional. I just found a skirt that I can no longer fit that has pockets in it, and I'm so frustrated because it's super, like, professional looking. And it has pockets and it's super cute, and I can't fit it because my belly won't let it work. So, but whatevs. Maybe one day. Anyway.
I am done with my YouTube chat, so whenever you are caught up, we are good to go. This is part of the reason we really like interacting with you guys, and this is part of the reason why we were really hesitant to move the stories read from 6 to 4. But being a 2 to 2 hour and 45-minute show is a really long show, and covering 6 stories really isn't a ton of stories, but the fact that we're catching up to our backlog and the fact that like 4 makes more sense and trying to get the show a little bit shorter so we can kind of give you guys more content throughout the week, because we're not exactly going to record like extra story times or anything, but what we did on Saturday with the leg shaving thing, that was really fun, and I think we want to do more content. We're just not exactly sure what we want that to be.
Right.
So
and my sister helped us set up like all the cameras and the GoPro and the lighting and stuff like that, and then she edited it. And
she helped finish wax my legs because Robin was doing it in the most painful way possible, and she was like, what are you doing to him?
Yeah, she's very helpful. And so if any of you are looking for a videographer in the Las Vegas area, she's pretty good and she has all the equipment. So DM us, I guess. And all right, let's see. Moving on. My turn, right?
No.
What?
You just went.
Oh.
How many do you have left?
1.
Okay, I have 2 left.
Okay.
So it's my turn. So let me go ahead and mark that. I really wish I had a button on this thing where I could mark on Reaper and not have to tell everyone, like, I'm marking it because I look silly. But it's not the case. So this next subject is website submission. And the website submission came from scarish.com, where you can go and click Contact Us, fill out the form and send it, and put your own subject in there, which isn't website submission. And this subject says, my God, GAWD.
Oh my God.
And it starts out like this. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? Robin and Adam, I found you on Spotify and have been binge listening to your podcast and want to say I love it. But
thank you.
Here's my story.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
Wait, why is it but?
It just says but. Here's my story.
Okay.
All right. So, boom. One night, me and my mom were watching Ghost Adventures. That's your first mistake right there. As we always do on Saturday nights. It is really cool that you have like a routine with your mom, though. So I'm totally okay with that. Halfway through the episode, I heard someone say, help me, please.
No.
I hear that in Georgie's voice from It. Help me, please. I know where my dad is, so it couldn't be him. It scared the crap out of me. I live on a reservation, so it's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, you'll float too.
Wow. As we finished the show, I heard it again, so I went to my room where I continued to try to ignore it. When I fell asleep, I had a dream of a man that was sitting on the edge of my bed. All I remember is that he was older than me and my mom. As I asked him who he was, he walked to the quote-unquote trap door that was in my room, my closet. He then climbed in and told me to follow him.
No.
In parentheses, I know there's nothing there in real life, so I did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm going to toss up a why, though, for that. Who follows the creepy guy sleeping or sitting on the edge of your bed?
Yeah, no. No.
He then showed me what looked like a torture chamber. By the time he was speaking again, I woke up. When I woke up, I saw a person reaching for my closet. I screamed loud as fuck. The person who was all black looked at me and laughed, sounding a lot like my dad. Then he turned on the lights. My dad then said, quote, "It's me, dumbass." I told him about my dream and he said no and went back to sleep. I hope this wasn't too long, but once again, I want to say that I love your podcast and hope you do more and never stop. You guys hold a place in my heart that keeps me scared but laughing. Of course, you can read this on the podcast. I hope you do. Peace out, my dogs, and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it. I love it. I absolutely love when stuff like that happens where it's like an actual scary dream mixed with someone that's awake in the real world. And I love your dad's reaction where it's like, it's me, dumbass.
Yeah,
like, what's wrong with you?
That's something a parent would say.
It absolutely is. That's just so funny. Robin always freaks out when I approach her, regardless of how noisy I am. Like, I'll purposely walk on my heels and make noises as I approach, like, "Rrr," so she doesn't freak out. And no matter what I do, I always approach her and she's like, ah! And I'm like, I was the loudest I can possibly be. And she's like, you're like a huge ninja.
Linda has started doing this thing where she goes, I'm coming up behind you, because she knows that I'll freak out.
Because she panics so much. It's just like, it's so funny. You know the people that you see, the people that you see that like when they get scared or when they toss like cups of water or coffee or whatever. Robin's not that bad, but I feel like that's the next evolutionary step in her paranoia, is it's just bound to happen sooner or later.
Okay, anyway, so Albrain says, I hope you get that job. And Two's Cat says, you need to light those candles for the job. Gotta do some prayers, thoughts and prayers.
Indeed.
La, 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 la.
Leo Chacha over on YouTube says, give it up for Adam's lips. And Cat says, whoop whoop. Jay says, Adam Lips appreciation of the week. Leo Chacha says, holla.
Albrain says, is that a heartless with wings on the bottom right corner? And Valley Girl says, it looks like Card Captor fan art. It is definitely Card Captor Sakura like fan art. It's like a heartless. It's like a mix of two things that are super cool. I don't know. An artist that I like called Gil's Bone from the UK does a lot of fan art, and he has like a pin Patreon and stuff, so I get like a pin every month for different fan art. It's really cool. I've gotten like Totoro ones or Vulpix, like, or was it Vulpix or Eevees? I don't know. I get a whole bunch of different really, really, really cute ones.
She really does.
And I always like fan art and stuff like that. So I have a lot of different prints. So I've gone through quite a few up here. So if you go through episodes, you'll see like
them change.
But yeah.
Glitch over on YouTube says, y'all could do like a Q&A if y'all want it a little longer. I have considered doing that. I've considered doing stuff for patrons and doing like an Ask Us Anything type of thing. We're pretty open, so I feel like if people tune into the live show, if they just ask us between emails, like random conversational stuff, we answer it. But a lot of times we do get back to the emails pretty quickly, so we could totally do a Q&A to end each session.
I don't know about doing Q&A at the end of each session, but if we went to Twitter and did like a thread like, hey, we're going to do a Q&A episode, then you have them ask questions on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and then we collect all the questions and then answer the questions that we get.
I mean, we could do that, yeah. I think Twitch or Glitch is just trying to figure out something to make the shows a little longer if we need to, when we switch to the four stories per episode.
Two's Cat says there needs to be a Detective Pikachu meetup, and I haven't watched the new Detective Pikachu trailer yet.
Oh, there's a new one?
Yeah, just came out today.
Yes.
With the Nintendo Direct, Pokemon Sword and Shield, everyone.
Which one? You're getting Sword, right? So I'm getting Shield.
Yeah, I'm getting Sword.
Nice.
I gotta do the
water
offense.
Pokemon too.
I'm all about that Score Bunny. Come on, it's so cute.
I don't know the names of them yet.
Cute.
I just know that it's a fire bunny.
I think yours is Sobble.
Sobble.
Or something like that.
It'll look adorable, and then it'll look dangerous when it's evolved.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited. Glad it's going to be on the Switch because the Switch is sick.
Right. People are like, oh, poor kids. They're not going to get it on their 3DSs. I'm like, do you know children very well? They all have Switches.
The Switch is handheld too?
Right.
But I haven't even finished Pokemon Let's Go yet, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
Jace over on YouTube regarding the Q&A session at the end of episode says, that would be cool. Chris says, agree strongly. So we'll see what we can do. We'll work something in there so we can talk with you guys a little bit. Glitch also says, Georgie wants his arm back, which is super creepy. Kat says, my old roommate used to startle me all the time unintentionally. So that's funny. I once fell over like a fainting goat, says Kat. That's hilarious. I can't imagine being that scared where you tense up and you just go over like one of those fainting goats. Yeah. But hopefully you didn't get hurt.
Wabe says we should really watch Violet Evergarden. We'll try and
add it to the list.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list. We have a lot of stuff we have to watch.
The ever-growing list.
So
Jay says
awesome.
a hangout live stream would be cool.
Is it my turn?
It is indeed. So you should have one more, and then I have one more,
All right.
and then we are done for the night. And of course, we're going to end with marbles. We wouldn't do that to you folks.
Marbles.
So give us a nice, wonderful transition, Robin.
All right. So this next email is titled, "Hey guys."
Hello.
Hey. But then it begins, "Hi, Adam and Robin."
Hi.
Hi. Hey, hi. How do you do?
We got you covered.
Salutations.
Greetings and salutations.
The Earth says hello.
She always mixes that up. I'm quoting Demolition Man, and then she quotes a song. So it's a blend.
It's not a song.
What? Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Oh, I'm just quoting it from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp.
Oh, so you're quoting Johnny Depp quoting the song.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Quoteception. That's what we just experienced here.
My name is Francesca, and I'm using Google Translate on my phone to tell this story. So please have patience with me and my English. It is kind of a long story, sorry. And I usually listen with my cousin and kids in the car on our way to school. We love it, but I do explain they can't repeat the bad words ever. So we have made an effort to tone it down so that there's not like, a curse word every 5 minutes or something. And
5 minutes is a long time to go without cursing.
But I think
I will say
it's been a lot different in this past month.
Yeah, I think it's more than a month. I think since episode 50, we've tried to be very aware of it and tried to tone it down, especially me. Robin's been toning it down for a little bit longer than that.
I know my niece definitely called Adam and was like,
I got a phone call from a 5-year-old about a bad word that I said, and it was for an episode that I didn't swear very often, so I was like, dang, man, like... But anyways, I do want to point out that the podcast is listed under the explicit tag on iTunes because there's clean and there's explicit. Clean, you can't swear at all. Explicit, you can swear a whole bunch. And we're not trying to like ramp up our total or anything like that. So we are trying to keep it like fairly clean, but drop an F-bomb when we need to, or whatever the case may be. However, we will read the emails as they're sent to us unless they're excessive, in which case my mom will probably edit it down.
Oh, I change it.
You change it?
Yeah.
Wow, censorship. Wow.
Feel free to share and have a blessed evening. In 2010, I got married to my best friend, the man of my dreams. Oh, that's so sweet.
That is very sweet.
And we moved into a nice 3-bedroom apartment in New York City. Dang. A 3-bedroom apartment in New York City. That's an arm and a leg.
It is. It's an arm, a leg, probably like $3,000 a month, and your firstborn.
Well, they have
at
three.
Least once. I was gonna say you can't do a firstborn more than once.
3 bedrooms. It's a lot of money.
Let's quit speculating on how much money you have and get to your story.
Anyway.
Robin says like, "Oh, I don't swear anymore." Holy shit,
yeah,
that's a nice place.
But New York, 3 bedrooms in New York. Okay, one of these days, I would love to live in New York City. I think that'd be cool. A few years later, my mother-in-law.
It's news to me.
I just want to try it out. It'd be kind of neat, like
I'm
an
okay
exchange
with that.
program or something.
Wow.
A few years later, my mother-in-law moved in with us. Before she moved in, we hadn't seen or heard anything spooky. The first week or so, she said that there is something bad in the kitchen. What? No.
Maybe she meant like throw out the garbage because it stinks.
Throw out the mother-in-law.
Wow.
Joke. I'm not serious. I didn't really understand, but I wanted her to feel comfortable in our home, so I asked her what she wanted us to do. She asked for us to sage the whole apartment, so we did, and had it blessed. A few weeks after that, I'd woken up from a deep sleep and couldn't go back to sleep around 3 a.m. Of course
it's always 3 a.m.
I headed to the kitchen for
I'm gonna break in really fast. I'm sorry. True story. I didn't get to bed until 3:30 a.m. on Monday night because we recorded so late. Like that is the latest we've ever gone for a podcast, and we got it out just in the nick of time. That one was absolutely brutal. Like I went to bed so tired, and I looked at the clock like, man, I'm gonna lay down, and then it's gonna be the witching hour, and I'm gonna be creeped out, and it was almost 4. And I was like, oh wow, I went right through the witching hour. Like that didn't happen.
Fun Disney fact. There is a movie on the Disney Channel. It's like a Disney movie called Just in Time, and it has Frankie Muniz in it. And
of course it does.
He does soapbox racing, but he is, I don't know if he's paralyzed or he's in a wheelchair.
Okay.
So he can't use his legs to use brakes and stuff. He has to use his hands for everything.
How is this relating to anything we just said?
I don't know. It's called Just in Time. You said Just in Time.
Wow. Wow. I was like, so he's going to be a demon, right? He wakes up at 3 a.m. That's when he gets paralyzed, right? No, not at all.
Fun Disney.
Just 3 words that I said related to that. So cool. Good to know.
It's a really good movie. You guys should watch it. I miss the very classic Disney Channel movies like Cadet Kelly and stuff like that. Like Just in Time. They're like wholesome and cute. And I don't know. These new ones are stuff that I just can't like get into. I don't know why. Anyway, moving on.
Cool. Fun stuff.
Where was I? Where was I? Da, da. I headed to the kitchen. Okay, I headed to the kitchen for some warm milk. My mother-in-law was standing in the middle of the kitchen, staring at the wall.
Throw out the mother-in-law. Throw her out.
I called her name, but she didn't respond. I walked up to her while talking to her and asking if she needed anything. What? What? When I touched her shoulder, she jumped and said I scared her.
You scared. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's rich. You scared her. She's standing in the middle of a dark room. She's like, you
at
scared
3 a.m.
me. It's like she's stirring like a cauldron of blood. She's like, you startled me.
I was about to put my hand in this blender.
Right.
I told her I was talking to her the whole time while I was walking, but she didn't believe me. This happened a few more times throughout the years, enough so that my husband took her to a doctor just to be safe.
There you go.
All the tests came back normal.
Of course they did. They always do.
This is like that Maggie Q movie. The scariest incident happened a few weeks ago. I was taking a little nap because I was feeling a little sick. I had a bad feeling come over me, so I went to the kitchen to get some water. It's always, you're going to the kitchen, bad stuff happens. I walked into the kitchen. It's like the basement.
They did say
no room is safe.
They did say in this story that there was something wrong with the kitchen, so this makes sense.
I walked into the kitchen to my mother-in-law, cleaning the kitchen counter with floor cleaner. I asked her what she was doing, and she turned really slowly to face me and put up her right hand, palm out like the stop sign, and a crazy look in her eyes and not blinking. As she stared at me, my heart was beating super hard, and I was very much afraid. The closer I got, the more scared I felt. She came up to me with her arms swinging like she wanted to hit me.
Wow.
I kept calling her name out, but she wasn't speaking. I got the feeling that she needed to get out of the kitchen, so when I got as close as I could without getting hit, I grabbed her forearms and dragged her out.
Wow.
I have chills.
This is giving me anxiety.
Literal chills.
Such a good thing. Shout out to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, renewed for season 7. We've already said it once, but I'm very happy about it.
The minute she was out of the kitchen, she dropped to the ground. My husband and I took her to her room, and she explained to us what happened. She said she heard her husband's voice telling her to go to the kitchen and that she couldn't resist it. I seriously have chills. I went into the kitchen to clean the counter and found the gas on in the kitchen and a lighter on the counter where she was standing. What?
We are an audio medium. Robin just mouthed the words WTF. So
I'm just like, oh, that's no.
Super creepy.
For those of you that don't know what those two come together to make, it is a boom.
It is a boom. For those of you who don't know that gas and fire make boom, Robin has just filled you in.
She doesn't like going into the kitchen alone anymore, and we got her a mini fridge for her room. Smooth move. Thanks again, and keep on creeping. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
That was really good. That was really
very
creepy.
Good, very creepy.
You are a very good daughter-in-law, because I know a lot of people who would not tolerate that. Yeah,
hit the road, lady.
You're going to need to find a place for this lady to stay, because she is creeping me out. Wow, that's really good. Thank you so much for sending that in. So I don't know what I would do if that happened. I looked over into chat, and I'm going to leave this in the show. And someone said, sorry, my mother-in-law is like that. She is getting dropped. And I'm not going to lie. When you said that she was approaching you swinging, I was like, make sure you go in there with your left at your chin and swing for the fences. Like, keep your defense up.
Swing away.
Man, that is creepy. I don't know. I just don't know what I would do. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. Let's take a break and look over into Stream Chat and see what you folks had to say.
So Raisin Rebel says, I'm finally comfy at home listening. Glad you can be comfy while listening to us speak of strange things. And that story was very good. Let's see. Spooky Zora says, they've definitely had this conversation before about Starshine song, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We definitely have.
We have it all the time.
But it's because I always bring it up.
We've had the Lilo and Stitch conversation before too. The difference is when we had it, it was more recent to when we had seen the movie, and I remembered exactly what happened. And when that conversation ended, she's like, "Oh, okay, you did watch it," and that's how that one ended. But because at this point I've forgotten now, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna win this one this time." And I think honestly, she just forgot that we had that conversation before. But it's annoying that like I remembered before and I don't remember now.
Thank you, the Snarked, for joining us, even though you can't stay. Jumping in and saying hi is awesome.
Shout out. Thank you for joining us.
Albrain says, whenever I hear the name Charlie, I just think of Charlie from Hereditary. We still haven't seen it. We own it. We haven't seen it.
We own multiple
and now
copies
it's on
of it
Amazon
too.
Prime. I'm so annoyed.
Akbar says, I feel a surge of morale from Adam's cheerleader outfit. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. You guys made me wear it, and I can't wait to take it off. So,
Raisin Rebel says, Cadet Kelly was awesome. It was awesome. It's one of my favorite Disney movies of all time.
Never seen it.
Oh, it has I was going to say it has Lisa McGuire, but she has a real name. Hilary Duff. It has Hilary Duff. Her mom gets married to the, like, a dean or whatever it's called when you run the whole school. He's not a principal, though, because it's a military academy. I forget what it's called.
Headmaster?
I don't think it's a headmaster
I don't
either.
know.
But her stepdad runs this school. So her mom's like, okay, we're moving there and you're going to be going to school at this military academy. And the chick from Even Stevens is her commanding officer and hates her stupid guts because Lizzie McGuire.
I'm not committing any of this to memory.
Yeah, because Lizzie McGuire is like a free spirit and loves like all
Dharma, you're such a free
the happy
spirit.
things. And so it's very, I don't know, I really like it. Everyone gets along in the end. It's great.
I'm glad you enjoy it. So it's good to have things you enjoy. Leo Chacha said, I feel it too regarding the surge of morale. And Leo Chacha says, Adam needs to create a scary-ish cheer. SCARY-ish. Bish. There you go. I'm done.
That was the worst that's ever come out of your mouth.
It's the best.
No.
That is the best thing I've ever thought of. I'll never do anything better than that. So
Silent Picture says Kim Possible was a no. I don't want to watch the new Kim Possible movie because I watched the beginning because Disney released like the opening of it where she like saves the baby and stuff and gets on her bus, and I was just like, this looks horrible. This is awful. How did they put money into this piece of trash?
it will not be good. It's
It's
probably
not
good.
good.
It's probably not going to be good. It won't be nearly as good as the Death Note live action, which was just amazing. So, Glitch Grim over
I
there
just want to push your computer off.
when you were reading that story says, "Don't put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby."
I love that movie.
Talladega Nights is very good.
Carly says True Confessions on Disney Channel was the most wholesome. That movie gives me too many feels. It's just too it's like it hurts you to watch because it has Shia LaBeouf in it, and Shia LaBeouf is special, and his sister True has to take care of him, and he has like freak out episodes and stuff like that, and she has to go through this, and it just hurts to watch, but she like loves her brother so much. You know,
It's hard
what I
to
mean?
watch drama sometimes.
Yeah, and it's
Especially
just,
when you have real shit going on in your life and you're like, you know what, I don't need the extra drama right now. I don't need feels on top of the feels I have now. So I totally understand not wanting to watch stuff like that sometimes. Emma says, I went to bed at 4:30 a.m. last night. Not sure how I stayed up to tune in for this. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. What else do we got over there? Leo Chacha woke up at 4:30 this morning. That sucks. Cicero Sage says, so Adam in a cheerleader costume. Cool, LOL. Guys made me do it. Don't blame me. And Leo Chacha let him know that you missed me showing off my legs. Indeed, you did, but you can always scrub back if you really want to see it.
The Snark says about that story I just read, maybe it was a low-grade gas leak the whole time.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and then Two's Cat says maybe she had dementia or something.
It sounds like the early onset dementia type thing going off. Chris said over on YouTube, turns out there's no demon, just the mother-in-law is an arsonist. And Glitch says, nope, her bags will be packed and should be on the next flight in the morning. Bye. And if he wants to go too, he's on that flight as well. Bye. Feedback let us know that the name of that position is Commandant. So there you go.
Thank you.
Shout out to Feedback.
Which is funny because, of course, you would know. You're a genius. Yeah, I enjoyed that movie a lot. It was really good. I don't know. And
I am caught up on YouTube.
The Snark says Christy Carlton Romano yelling. That's all he remembers about it. And yeah, she was just like drill sergeant, like calling her a maggot and stuff. She was kind of mean in it.
When I think drill sergeant, I think Full Metal Jacket. That's what I think of. And I think the guy that they hired, I always forget his name. He has passed away now, R.I.P. But obviously the guy from Full Metal Jacket that plays a drill sergeant was an actual drill sergeant. And he's the one that they hired as a consultant to teach their actors how to be drill sergeants. And he was so vicious and mean to them, they all quit. They're all like, I'm not doing this. So after so many of them quit, they were like, do you want to just do it? And he did. And that's how he started his acting career. So, and he was like an actor for a very long time after that. What? He also played House's dad on the TV show House.
Wow.
So, yeah. I can't believe I don't remember his name anymore. I know he was a gunnery sergeant.
Feedback
sure,
says he's in military. You're in military school right now? Since when? Since when? I'm just like, what?
We have catching up to do.
Let's let's see.
I know his name is, like, everyone called him Gunny, but I just don't remember what his actual name was. So I used to know it by heart.
I'm just thinking about NCIS now because they always call him Gunny.
Yeah. Right on.
All right. And Neon Scar says, I've been getting up at 3 or 4 a.m. all week. I figured it was just my sleeping gummies wearing off after like 4 hours,
That's
but
funny.
I don't know. I'm done. It's your turn to read your long one.
Is it? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, give me 1 sec. Let me finish this. Hashtag Vietnamese coffee is amazing. So
Yeah, it's actually really good. I'm surprised. It's Starbucks coffee, but it's from like the region in Vietnam, like the North region of Vietnam, and it tastes so good.
you have to hold your hands up like that when you say it too. It's dangerous. I'm always worried she's gonna hit my mic. It's gonna hit my teeth and chip my teeth.
No, I just realized that there is a Starbucks Reserve in downtown Disney.
Yep. I think we might have mentioned this on the show already.
Oh, I already did. Sorry, it excites me. It really excites me because there is a type of coffee that I ordered on eBay once because I was like, man, I want some Starbucks Reserve coffee. What? Vietnam? Hell yeah, I want it. And I spent like $40 on it to get it here. And then I went to freaking Starbucks Reserve downtown Disney. It's like $12. I was like, this is what?
It's a good thing.
So it's a great thing. I was like, this is amazing. Why did I eBay?
Because you didn't know. And now you know. And if you don't know, now you know. So, and yes, I did just quote Brandon Urie. So, all right, I'm going to move on to my last one of the evening. And this one's subject is Close Encounters of the First Kind. Please read on the pod. Now, I didn't look it up. I remember seeing the subject, and the third kind is obviously supposed to be extraterrestrials. And then the first and second kind actually do exist, and I can't even remember what the first and second kind are. So hopefully we'll be told during this email. And it starts out like this. Greetings. I discovered the podcast through a good friend of mine who suggested it after I told her I needed something new to listen to. She recommended Scarish because of my love of random and semi-useless information. You are in the right place. And freaky, true-ish stories, as I have had quite a few of them. I'll do the usual gushing and say I do enjoy the show, and it helps the day pass a little bit more quickly while at work. It's good to hear that. We really do appreciate that. This will be a long email, so I'm going to make a couple topic suggestions first. I'd like to hear about mass UFO sightings. I love mass UFO sightings.
There's that one where wasn't it like a whole town that saw all these lights in the sky?
What's really interesting about mass UFO sightings is it's very difficult to find information on the internet because a lot of it has been taken down, which is really, really annoying.
I just thought about Signs just now.
Signs? The movie Signs? That's funny. I could just do a review of the movie Signs. Getting back to the email,
Swing away.
The suggestions of Bigfoot or the Myrtle Plantation / Haunted Louisiana. We are going to make our way around the states soon. So
I have steered away from the Myrtle Plantation only because I've heard so much about it. And I mean, granted, we have done a lot of topics that a whole bunch of people have done, but almost every video or every top 10 list or whatever always has it on there.
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of this place. So
Get
you could go ahead and cover it and then I'll know.
But I always see it on there, so I try to steer away from like the stuff that shows up over and over and over again, which is why we have so many weird topics.
This is why I don't look and see what anyone else is doing, because I want to do the things that I discover, so my excitement comes through naturally, and then hopefully I can cover it better than anyone else has. That said, let's go ahead and get back into it. Also, I have a couple of suggestions of fiction podcasts for everyone. Two of my favorites, Welcome to Night Vale, which I have definitely heard of, and Alice Isn't Dead. Both and others are from Night Vale Presents, so good to know. Welcome to Night Vale is the local news show from a kooky little town in the desert. While sometimes absolutely terrifying, you catch yourself wanting to visit. Alice Isn't Dead is a horror / thriller of a woman looking for her quote-unquote dead wife while traveling the country and driving for a shipping company. So cool. Good suggestions. To begin, a little background information. I am the oldest boy and middle child in a family of 4 siblings. Oldest boy. Got it. Okay, I was like, how can you be the oldest boy but middle child? Because you have a sister that's older than you, obviously.
Ave.
My sister, A, is the oldest. I'm C, and my brothers, who are identical twins, in parentheses, even though they don't look it, are B and D. Get it? A, B, C, D. Got it. A's the girl, C is you, B and D are your twin brothers. We all have had our freaky experiences, but the instances I will be talking about in this message will be centered around some of the things I experienced, and strangely, for each of these, my brother B was with us. Interesting. So it sounds like you have an evil twin, and the other one is just staying at home and avoiding all these things. I've noticed that hardly anybody writes in with encounters of the first kind, aka UFOs. I thought that was the third kind. Maybe
thought it was
third
the
kind.
fourth kind.
Really? Well, you have a free. I was gonna say you have a free Xbox. You have a free PC. So let's Google this up. Maybe third kind is when you actually like come face to face with them, and that's why that movie's called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So good to know. So this is going to be encounters based. Multiple people in my family have seen them, and usually have more than one on occasion. I will probably send a few of those your way at some point.
Encounters of the first kind is an encounter within 150 meters.
There you go.
All right.
What's the second then? Since you got it right there. I'm very curious now.
Oh, I gotta look it up.
Come on, it's right there.
Let's see. Oh, here's a list.
Oh my God, is it taking 1,000 hours?
You're taking 1,000 hours. When an encounter with a UFO in the sky or on the ground leaves evidence behind, such as a scorch mark, it's the second kind. When it's visible with occupants inside, it's the third kind. And when you're abducted, it's the fourth kind.
Is there a fifth kind?
No. Oh, yes. Fifth kind is in direct communication between aliens and humans.
Okay. So it sounds like the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind should really be the fifth kind. But that said, this is going to be the first kind. So this seems to be happening a lot with this family. I will probably send you a few of those. We said that. I've seen
those.
Thank you. Thank you for making fun of me tripping over a word like I don't do to you. That's a lie. I do it all the time. I've seen 5, and what do you mean what?
I was trying to interrupt you again.
I've seen 5, and every one I've ever seen, I witnessed with B there with me. D was with us for most of them as well, but not all. Here are those stories. I like how that leads into it like it's almost like a TV show. The first one, and there's like bold lettering right now, and it's called The Speck. The first I can remember occurred in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I spent most of my school-aged summers in Albuquerque as my mom lived there while I lived with my dad in Louisiana. I must have been around 14 at the time, and my brother's 11. We were playing in the neighborhood pool when the three of us noticed a small, odd black speck in the late afternoon sky. When I pointed it out to the others at the pool, they all played it off as either a hang glider or a hot air balloon, as Albuquerque is a hot spot for both. I knew deep down in me that they were wrong. It seemed too large to be a hang glider and too small to be a balloon. It was also completely black, almost as if the sky had a dead pixel. That is super creepy.
That is really creepy.
Or there was a small pinhole punched through the atmosphere.
Dead pixels are the worst.
I stared at it for several minutes, and as it stayed perfectly still off in the distance until someone finally drew my attention away for a moment. When I looked back seconds later, it was gone. I know that sounds dumb, but they get better. Well, I don't think it sounds dumb, so we appreciate that. The next one is called The Flares. The second one also occurred in Albuquerque a couple summers later. My brother and I were walking home from a friend's who lived a few blocks away. It was my last night in town, and I would be flying home the next morning, so my friend came with us to help me pack. It was dark, probably around 10 or 11 at night, and we were walking east towards the mountains when suddenly a dozen super bright, brilliant blue-white lights started rising up over the mountains. They flew up one by one, and as each one rose from a centralized point, it veered off in alternating directions until they formed a loose formation with the first to rise on the outer edges. I always wonder when people see stuff like this that's so well coordinated, if it's just some sort of like aircraft that like the government is developing that they can't tell you about, but they're just going to naturally fly it and be like, some people are going to see shit. Oh, well, you know what I mean? Because it definitely sounds like, I mean, at some point you're going to develop something that's in secret. And if you're going to take it out for a test drive, someone is going to see you, but it's hard to know. They hovered for a moment, and in synchronized movements, they flew back and forward in an unpredictable pattern. It was almost as if they became one larger object and some unseen hand was waving them around. After a few seconds of flying around in their formation, they collected into a single point in the middle and then scattered in all different directions. What you saw was the Dragon Balls, and someone made a wish and you just couldn't see it. So I think I figured that one out. We stood there, stunned by what we had just witnessed, and proceeded to run the rest of the way back home. I would do the same thing. We told my mom and everyone else at the house what we saw, but they all insisted that it was probably flares, as there are sometimes military training operations in the mountains, but throughout the following years, I would see a lot of flares. None of them are that color. Most that are used for light are yellowish or reddish white, unless it's a signal flare, in which case they can be red, green, or white. Flares also flicker like a bright firework flame, which these didn't, and flares simply don't fly around like they're remote controlled. They fly up, then back down in an arc, and typically go out before they hit the ground. That is true. It's annoying when you see something you can't explain and you try and pass that information along to someone and they dismiss it and you're like, did you not think that I would have thought that at some point? Like when you try and tell someone like, I saw this thing, like it was probably that. It's like, yeah, I thought that too. And then I watched it with my eyes and I'm telling you with my words what I saw, which should let you know that that's not what it was. And people are like, that's what I'm going to say it was. And I think the rest of your details are nonsense. That's so very frustrating. So I empathize with you and I feel bad that they were dismissive. Do you have a thought?
No.
You're very pensive right now. You have your head on your hand like that. Your hand on your chin.
What's going on in my head right now?
No, I have no idea.
Is that song from Cool Runnings.
Why?
I don't know. It's just repeating in my head.
Cool.
This is my brain process. That's what happens when you have ADD. Things just don't work the same.
Blame the ADD. All right. Not this last one. There's 4. This is 3. The third one is called The Predator, which I'm so excited to read because I hope there's clicking and Arnold Schwarzenegger involved. Another one I saw with Just B. He was at my house in Louisiana as D was in the hospital in Dallas recovering from a kidney transplant. That's super serious.
Wow.
Which he received from A. It's crazy he received it from A when he has a twin brother and he got it from his sister instead.
That's really, I think that's amazing.
I was 21 and B was 17, almost 18. I stepped outside for a cigarette, in parentheses, don't smoke, kids, and B came with me. We stood outside for quite a while, even after my cancer stick was finished, talking sparsely and looking at stars on a dark night. Suddenly, I noticed something move in the corner of my eye, off to my right, and I turned to just barely glimpse what looked like a triangular-shaped piece of the sky had detached and was moving to the left. It was huge, made no sound, had no bright lights, and was gone in an instant.
It was a Star Destroyer.
As this happened, I also noticed Brian. I'm pretty sure that was just supposed to be B. So I'll go ahead and mark that and take it out in post. So fun stuff.
But you're on the internet now.
Yeah, forever. At this point, I also noticed B move his head and eyes to the same spot as me. We then both looked at each other, shock painted on our faces, and shout, "Did you fucking see that?" in unison, confirming that we both had, indeed, fucking seen that.
Oh my god.
This is really well written. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, welcome, Miss Deasy. Even though you're late, you're here with us now, and that's all that matters.
You're so welcomed here. We're happy to have you. I'm going to go ahead and mark this. The crazy thing about this particular instance is my dad claims to have seen something very similar around a decade or so before. He, to this day, says it reminded him of the Predator, or, quote, as if someone cut a piece of the sky and moved it. It was freaky. That is super creepy. When you both see something and when you bring it up to someone, they're like, I feel like I've seen the exact same thing. So the next one, I said there was 4 things. I lied. There's 5. The 4th one is called The Donut. I told you this one was going to be long. Do you remember? I hope you do. The donut goes on like this.
It's been so long, I've forgotten.
Just a few weeks later, B and I took a trip down to the southern part of the state to see my best friend for the weekend. It was probably around 2 or 3 in the morning, so around the witching hour. 4 of us were sitting around dying. I hate my mouth right now.
I hate your mouth too.
I hate you so much. 4 of us were sitting around a dying fire pit after a long night of partying. Okay, so I get the feeling like you're drunk here and maybe a little bit high. I'm not going to judge you because I don't know how you party. Maybe you're just playing like Parcheesi around a fire pit or whatever. We were thinking about going to bed when B looks up and starts nearly screaming, "What the fuck is that?" and pointing. Again, I'd like to point out it was written like this, and I just am going to read your words. We look up and see a donut-shaped object. It made no sound, and it again wasn't lit by any lights. I hate you so much. Instead, it was well lit by the eerie yellowish light of the moon, covered by a thin veil of clouds. The object had to have been just a few hundred feet above us and ascended rapidly straight up. Instead of passing through the clouds like a plane, it left a circle punched out of the clouds, and continued to ascend until we could no longer see it.
That's creepy.
It's also super cool. Like the image of it just being like, and now there's a donut hole in the cloud. You're welcome. I feel like it was eavesdropping. Like, what are these guys talking about? I really want, oh shit, they noticed us. And it's just gone. Have you ever seen Conehead? Something like that where they realize their cloaking device isn't on. All right. So we're on to the 5th one. And this is the last and longest one. So strap in. We're almost done with this, but it's been really good so far. So I think we can all agree.
All right.
All right. This last one's called the UDO, Unidentified Driving Object. This one is out of chronological sequence as the other 4, but this one is definitely the scariest. Ooh, I'm glad you saved it for last. While I was in college in 2009, B, D, so the twins, my best friend Dre, my girlfriend Amy.
C, D were the twins.
C is this person. B and D are the twins. I made a comment about that. A is the oldest sister.
How can B and D be the twins?
He just named them because it's abbreviations of their names. Guaranteed.
Oh, I thought they were born A, B, C, D.
No.
Okay.
Thank you for trying to correct me. No, you're wrong.
I'm so confused.
Shout out to Miss. How are you confused about this? It's very simple to follow.
My brain can't handle.
Shout out to Miss Deezy who just subscribed with Amazon Prime. I was about to say Amazon Twitch Prime. Yeah, I think
it
both
is
work.
Twitch Prime.
So either way, thank you so much, Miss Deezy, for subscribing. We appreciate it.
I'll take this moment to shout out. You guys can, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can go to twitch.amazon.com and attach your Amazon Prime subscription to your Twitch, and you'd get a free subscription every month, and you can give it to whatever channel you want to.
If you don't give it away, it's $5 free that Amazon basically keeps. You can't take it for yourself unless you're like us. You have your own channel and you give it to yourself. But you can give it to someone else, and we would definitely appreciate it if you just signed up, linked your account, and donated to us.
Yeah, because it doesn't cost you anything. It's included in your Prime subscription.
And if you don't use it, it doesn't roll over. It just goes away. So Good thing to note. So this one that we're ending on is the scariest one. And it says, while I was in college in 2009, B, D, so the twins, my best friend, Dre, my girlfriend, Amy, our friend, Matt, and I took a day trip out to the Kisatchie Natural Forest in central Louisiana. Hope I got that right. We spent the day playing with a campfire, illegally fishing for catfish off a boat launch, and exploring the forest. We didn't go home. I hear the forest, and instantly I'm thinking of that movie that has Jon Snow's wife in it.
The one about Aokigahara?
What?
That's the name of the forest.
No, not that one. I'm thinking about the other one with Jon Snow's wife. Rose Leslie, and she gets abducted or something happens to her the first night, and she slowly starts losing her ability to function and losing her memories.
Yeah, because her twin sister
No. You're thinking about the one where they go into the forest. I'm talking about the one where they're in the cabin, and she runs out into the woods, and then when she comes back, the next day she tries to make breakfast, and she just throws completely sealed eggs into the pan. You keep going back to the one you thought I was talking about, but I'm talking about a different one.
No, I know what you're talking about, because it seems like she got abducted and she was a weird alien.
It seems like she was a replacement, or she had something. How to do stuff. She had something in her because she's forgetting the basics of life. It's just really, really weird movie. So hopefully that's not what happens here. It's not as bad as that because you sent us the email, so we know that's not the case.
Thank you so much for subscribing.
Shout out to Wild Cali Washu, who has resubscribed for the 6th month in a row. I don't know why some of the streaks reset, but don't worry about that. We're going to figure it out. We're going to reach out to Twitch and be like, WTF, mates.
Aw, and thank you for saying we look lovely.
The message says, Adam looks lovely. You both do. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments because I feel ridiculous right now wearing this. For those of you who are listening and not watching, I paid up on the bet I made back in January.
It wasn't a bet. It
was basically a condition where
goal.
if we hit our goal for the donations on the live streams, I would wear a cheerleader outfit and shave my legs, which I have done. It's on YouTube, and am wearing the outfit live right now, which you can also catch over on YouTube.
I'm glad I've already done mine for this month. I don't have to wait till way
Yours
later.
Came in for the February one came in before the January one, so mine was a little bit more.
I am going to say, well, I don't know if I should wait. I'll just tell you guys now. But if you go to patreon.com right now and become a patron, patreon.com/scaryishpodcast, we are doing a giveaway where we'll pick one person out of all our patrons, where we're going to give a little tiny package of scary-ish stuff.
Gift package.
It's like a little award package. So if you guys want to be a part of that giveaway, go ahead and go to patreon.com/scaryishpodcast because we pick someone tomorrow. So
yeah, I forget that the end of the month is right around the corner. February is so short.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get back to the end of this email.
So is Tiny DeVito, but
What?
He's so short.
I hate you so much. Okay, we're getting back to this. They're doing illegal stuff like fishing for catfish in a spot that they're not supposed to be doing. And this is where it picks up.
What kind of fishing? The mud fishing where you stick your arm into a little cave and the catfish bites onto you, or a regular fishing where
it sounds like regular fishing because it says off of a boat launch.
Okay.
So it sounds like they're doing it the normal way. And now I'm going to get back to this email. It continues. We didn't go home until late that night, around 2 a.m. I feel like if you want to avoid aliens, just go home a little bit earlier because a lot of these things happen at night. Although one of them was like 10 to 11.
What do they say in How I Met Your Mother? It's
Nothing good happens after 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
Or is it 2 a.m.?
I don't remember.
But
it's one of those AMs.
Yeah.
So on the drive home, the 6 of us were piled in my small truck. I was driving. Amy was riding shotgun. Dee was in the back of the cab in the jump seat. And Matt, Dre, and B were riding in the bed. There is a section of the drive that is about 3 to 5 miles long of straight, relatively level road surrounded on both sides by dense forest, so needless to say, it was very dark and kind of spooky. This is a really good way to set the mood. Off in the distance, we see a light, a single very bright white light. The light is annoyingly bright, and I assumed it was a train's headlight, but while modern trains have very bright headlights, they usually have 2 or more, even if they have a central spotlight. We got closer and the light grew in intensity, and I thought next it could be a spotlight like on a police car, but it was just way too bright. I tried flashing my headlights to see if I could get whatever it was to turn the light off or to point in a different direction. The light grew so intense that I was able to see every detail of everything in the cab of my truck, and at this point, everyone was freaking out.
Wow, I would freak out.
I would too. The guys in the back even began banging on the truck and shouting, "Dude, what is that? Why is that light so bright?" Everyone was terrified. It was so bright that I had to pull over and stop, hoping the light would pass us, but it wasn't moving. So I slowly continued driving by the lines on the roads as to not look at the light. It was almost comparable to a welding arc, and it seriously hurt my eyes to look at the source. Finally, the light does begin to move towards us, still getting brighter, until it was about a quarter of a mile away. Then the light split, in parentheses, yes, I mean split.
So there were multiple flying
objects. It was one
there.
Solid light, and then it split, and I'm going to continue now, into 2 and dropped drastically in intensity like a car switching from brights to dims, if their brights were a single super intense spotlight. The object then, everyone is like, if you're like me right now, I'm like, I'm going to get abducted because I read this email.
I'm like, aliens
and you're going to get abducted because you listened to it, so we're all in the same boat. The object then sped by at an incredible speed with an audible rumble. The weirdest part was it had the appearance of an early 50s era car like a Cadillac. Only none of us were able to get a good look because it was moving so fast and because of the super bright light right up until it was about to pass us. We were all so freaked out that we all screamed as it went by, and we're screaming and yelling in horror on the way back to our apartment.
What if it was like a military test? Like they were testing some new technology?
I feel like I had this theory about an earlier story.
Yeah, it's probably just they're testing out new technology, and they're like, we're going to go by so fast. They're too freaked out. We're fine.
It sounds like the Men in Black drove past you, but their flashing thing was out.
That's hilarious.
So they hit their brights so that you would be like night blind when they passed you. So we were also freaked out. We screamed on the way back, screaming and yelling in horror. Okay. I sped most of the way home, almost hoping I would encounter a police officer so we could tell our story, but I remember there was weed in the truck, so I slowed down. Good move. The slowing down part, not the weed in the truck. This event has haunted us ever since.
Wow.
I still have nightmares about it, and Dre will shudder anytime you mention it. My brothers have a mini freak out every time they have a chance to bring it up. I hope you enjoyed these. These were some of my defining moments of life. I will have some other stories soon. Thanks for reading. Maybe I'll get to hear these again in a few months when you get around to my email. Nanu Nanu. Thank you so much for sending that in. Oh, Cameron. Thank you, Cameron, for sending that in. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This
Aliens are
creepy.
They're very
creepy.
creepy. Because it's hard. It's not like a cryptid. You know what I mean? Aliens are something that it seems like the military wants to try and cover up that they exist. You know what I mean?
I feel like we naturally feel superior to cryptids. Like they're a beast or they're a creature without intelligence
aliens
or
have
sentience.
A higher,
but if aliens existed and visited like that, wow.
Sorry.
She just hit her microphone with her glasses somehow. But if aliens existed and have visited and are doing things like what was described in this email, then it's like, you're the cryptid, you know? You might not be the creepy thing they're afraid of, but you're the thing that they're just watching. So that one's really, really creepy. And a really good example of people who say, like, I apologize that this is going to be long. It is okay. Make them long. That's no problem. No big deal about that.
We're an alien ant farm.
What?
Get it?
They're just not good tonight, man. They're just not that good.
Because
I love Alien Ant Farm. I love Smooth Criminal. It's such a wonderful
because
cover.
it's like we're an alien's little ant farm where we're
Oh,
all these little humans, you know, in their little thing.
You're
and
understanding the name of the band. It has
oh
dawned on you
my
finally.
goodness, that's why they're called that.
Today I learned. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was really good though. I really do appreciate that. So anyone who has similar stories or stories where you're like, I've never told this to anyone before because you're gonna think I'm crazy, you can send them to us. Send them anonymous if you feel like it because you don't want people to know it was you. Whatever you want to do, you can send it our way. And if it's something you don't want to share, you can still send it our way and we'll converse with you on the subject. So we really appreciate you sending that one in, Cameron. That was really, really, really good. And I'm gonna freak out at any light I see probably for the next week shining in, which sucks because we live by a road and people drive by with their brights all the time. So cool. Let's take a look over into stream chat, see what you fine folks had to say. I'm going to read the YouTube chat first and then set up marbles on stream. And then Robin can read the Twitch chat while I'm getting that all set up. Sound good?
Yep.
The first thing I see is feedback saying, Jamaica, we got a bobsled team.
Yeah, that song was stuck in my head.
She had never seen that movie before she met me, which is why we have the premise that we do of the show that will be coming out in March of You've Never Seen That, because it's like, how have you never seen this movie? I need to expose you to it. And I really like the premise for the podcast. So
we're going to watch Cadet Kelly. I have it on the list.
So I've chosen episode 0. That was another one of the things that was hardest is which movie do we want to pick to start the show with. And we're going to do Goodfellas because it's just a classic. It's so good. It's going to be a little bit intense, but really fun. Also, Robin gets to see Ray Liotta at his just most beautiful. So I'm really excited to watch it. It's such a marvelous movie. You are disappointed in pretty much everything, although you really did like That Thing You Do, which I wish we would have saved for the show.
Thing You Do.
She had never seen it. I showed her That Thing You Do. She loves it. She has the soundtrack. She'd never seen Good Will Hunting. I've shown her a lot of movies that I wish we would have saved for the show. So we'll have some episodes during that show where it's like she has already seen this. However, we're going to rewatch it and we'll go over it and then you can have your insight or whatever. So
yeah.
All right. So I'm looking over into the YouTube chat.
People talking about their TVs doing creepy things because Chessie Cat posted a video of her TV doing like the slow talking, like it's like distorted audio on their TVs. Multiple people have had that happen apparently, which is frightening. You throw out the TV.
We have had, this isn't a joke, we have had our spa outside. There's a light in it. And I've seen it multiple times right around midnight or a little bit later when I go downstairs to check the house or whatever. The light is not just on, it's flickering. Like someone's outside pressing the switch, turning it on and off and on and off. So I go outside and check the breaker because it should just be off. And it is flipped on. And I have to turn it off. And it's happened at least 3 times. And this last time, every time it happens, I'm like, all right, just get the dogs to go outside with you and take out a flashlight. You'll be fine. So this last time it happened was 2 or 3 nights ago. I think I might have brought this up on the episode that we just did, but I went outside and the dogs refused to go out. They're like, no, we're good. So I was like, this is how I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to be found in this damn spa. So
Glitch says that the catfishing, where you stick your arm in a cave underwater or whatever, is called noodling.
Interesting.
# Texas life.
That's funny. Shout out to Woo Scaryish. I feel like I need to do that better. Woo Scaryish, who just subscribed on Amazon Prime. We really appreciate you, and I really like your name. Feedback says it's just the NCO Academy and have like 2 weeks left in parentheses. It's the school I need to attend in order to get promoted to staff sergeant.
That is so.
That is awesome. Staff sergeant is fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't believe how long you've been in, man. Like, oh my gosh, you're gonna be all like super cool eventually. I mean, not that you're not super cool now, but
you suck now.
You're gonna keep
keep advancing, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna keep advancing, and before we know it, you're just gonna be like this high echelon badass in the military. And you're never going to talk to us because you're too cool.
Glitchgrim says, oh, y'all should do creepy 911 calls. They are so creepy.
911 calls freak me out. They freak me out.
I was doing some research a few weeks back, and I found a 911 call from a guy. It's 2 minutes long, and it sounds like he's being attacked by an animal, and it sounds horrific. And he was found dead, and they couldn't determine what animal had attacked him, but there are these bizarre circumstances surrounding his death where they really do think that it was some sort of cryptid or mutant creature that attacked him, like a wolf that wasn't normal. And they have no idea why these things happened. And like they thought they had a suspect and they were going to accuse him of murder. And then they had a security camera footage pop up where it showed like, no, this guy really did drop this guy off. He was completely unharmed. And he winds up like running into the woods like he's being chased by something. It is so creepy. I couldn't get the call details because the only site I could find had like a news broadcaster talking over the call in the background. So I was like, I am not doing this until I can find and isolate this 911 call and play it. It is super creepy. So I totally am on the same page with you, Glitch. I just have one particular that I want to do, and it's going to require a lot of digging on the internet to find that damn call.
Spooky Zora says, I was today years old when I learned the reason behind the name of that band.
That's funny.
Me too.
Kat says, Night Vale. Emma says, welcome to Night Vale, and Alice isn't dead. Our bomb. And Glitch says, yes, Erica. And then Emma says, yes, Kat. I'm really happy to hear that you guys enjoy the recommendations. I've heard of Night Vale. But I have never heard of Alice Isn't Dead, so it's good to know. Glitch says, I've heard some that freak me out so bad. And Kat says, I want to know, but I don't want to know. And Glitch says he's going to post it in Discord. So
oh, my goodness.
Savage says, Adam looks mad sexy, winky face, in that cheerleader uniform. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ow. Sounds like there's dogs outside our door.
Yeah, I bet my sister's over. Carly says, I love Goodfellas so much.
Goodfellas is such a great movie.
I have never seen it, so I don't know if I'll love it or not.
I think you'll appreciate the fact that it's a very good movie. I love like
Public Enemy and movies like that, or like
yeah, dude, it's
The
like,
Untouchables, you know.
It's such a better movie than those two.
Really?
It really, it's like the perfect mob movie. It's so good. I cannot wait. It will be our episode 0. Emma says, I love the woos. And I am done with my YouTube. There's some other stuff where you folks are talking to each other, but I'm going to get Marbles on Stream up, and then Robin can continue with the rest of the stuff that she has. Oh, of course you're done. Well, you're going to have to vamp now, which we all know really good at.
Vamp it up. Vamp it up.
You're tramping it up right now, Burn.
If you guys haven't watched that Grace Helbig movie, Camp Dakota, it's very, very, very cute. And
I went to a camp when I was a kid called Camp Tecumseh, so I was like, I guess I'll watch this, and I will say I did enjoy it.
I've never been to camp. My mom never let me go to camp. She said bad things would happen.
So instead, she was like, I'm going to go ahead and tramp it up. I'm kidding, you're not a tramp.
So I don't know, but it seems like camp would be fun. I
enjoyed all the camps I attended.
The thing about camp is the idea of leaving your kids with a whole bunch of other people that are just watching a million kids. It's like, how do they not lose one?
There's a lot of counselors.
Or how do you make sure they don't get pregnant?
And depending on the camps you send them to, it's like, that doesn't mean there's a ton of kids there. Like the camps I went to, there's typically like 50, 60 kids, but like each group of 8 to 10 had like a squad leader or whatever. And then they had like the people in charge, and you have a schedule for all the things you need to do. So there's always head counts. And I mean,
how do you know?
I didn't go to camp when I was old enough to get someone pregnant, so I can't account for whether or not you're banging. But
how do you know your kid's not going to meet their twin?
I hate you so much. If you've divided up your twins and decided that you don't want them to meet each other, then probably don't send them to the same camp, especially if you live in the UK and you're sending your kid all the way overseas to a camp. But let's go ahead and move over into Marbles on Stream to wrap up the show like we always do. And like we always do, we're going to let you pick the map. So right now, if you want to type !vote, then a space, then the number that corresponds with the track you would like to race, your vote will be counted. They will be tallied up, and whichever one has the most votes after a foreseeable amount of time will be the map that we race first, and we'll do the same thing for the second one. So go ahead and put your vote in right now. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my phone and put my vote in as well.
All right. So what do I want? Everything seems so interesting. I think Coils of Power. That sounds scary.
What number is that?
32.
I'm going to go with number 32 then, because that does sound interesting.
Hold on. My fingers can't type. Miss Deezy, exclamation point vote for whatever map lets me win.
That's hilarious. All right, we have 15 votes total in so far. And they're going up and up and up. 18 total. We have 6 of them for Coils of Power. So I feel like when we call one out that a lot of people are like, that sounds good, because a lot of people aren't really too worried about which ones they're going to do. And I feel bad for the people who really want to do stuff like Laps, which has 4 votes, and Robin pulled all the votes away for the other one. So
I won't say what I'm going to vote for.
Well, Laps is 42. So let's just remember 42 next time. And then maybe we'll pick that one. Maybe we'll pick a different one. We have 20 votes. This is probably the most votes we've had for maps, for a map, I should say.
All right.
In a while. So I'll give it about 10 more seconds. Then I'm going to pick the viewer's vote, which is still Coils of Power. So we'll see what happens with it. Thank you guys for joining us. We really liked bringing bringing down the show at the end of it. And sometimes we read like really emotional ones. Sometimes we read sad ones. Sometimes we read really creepy ones about aliens. So
aliens, seriously, I don't know why, but I have a fear of being abducted. And I'm sure it just doesn't happen to people normally. But what if it does?
And you just don't know.
Yeah.
It's creepy. All right, so we have 21 votes. 8 of them are for Coils of Power. We're going to go with that one to start the races of the night. And once this is loaded up, we can all jump in. Survival rate is very high, 79.7%. A lot of the ones we race are around 50 to 55. And, of course, there is just a giant funnel to start. So type exclamation point
play. Sounds
like
it's going to be fun, Noel.
Exclamation
funnel.
Point play if you would like to join in or write meow.
Exclamation point play. Hey. I like all the different emotes you can use to join. It's random.
It's weird being in a skirt because my legs are sticking to the chair.
Ew.
And I'm moving them. It's like I forget that I have a leather chair.
Imagine
and that my legs are smooth
wearing
right
a
now.
skirt and then getting going somewhere super humid or where it's super hot and then you're just like
swamp crotch. I get that anyways.
It's called chafing.
Okay, good to know. So we have 26 people playing right now, so thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to give it about 10 more seconds, then click start, and then you'll also have an additional 10 seconds to join in. 27.
I'm going to see how we can do some skins for this game.
Yeah.
Because that would be really
cool.
Fun. Like if you're subscribed, then you get a special one.
That would be great. I'm going to click start. Here we go. I would really like to get a logo skin, which would be super cool. Where it just oh my God. What have we done?
It looks amazing.
So many coils.
So sparkly.
All right, here we go. We're starting with the funnel. Let's get everyone's names up on there. I'm going to stay zoomed out a little bit to start out with so we can see what's going on.
28 balls. Holy crap.
We got a lot of people for this one. I'm so pleased that you guys decided to join us. Or you folks. I don't want to be heteronormative or anything like that. I know that's not a heteronormative thing to say, but I just want to be inclusive. Raisin Rebel has made it through very, very quickly and are taking a very substantial lead on a track like this one where the death rate is 1 in 5.
Glitch says
that could be an insurmountable lead.
# runny eggs.
Oh God, don't make me puke, please.
I don't know. I don't have.
You like runny eggs.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's
mind
gross.
I don't mind it at all. Like when I fry myself an egg, I make sure there's...
It teleported Raisin Rebel backwards. You have to avoid these portals. Pancakes avoided it, but I think... Oh, Pancakes did avoid it and didn't die. So Pancakes is now in the lead. I hate these blocks.
But it's not that bad.
They slow everything down. Silent Picture is in the lead. Alice in Wonderland is catching up. Pancakes 29, and Raisin Rebel is trying to take back first place. After I said all that shit about insurmountable lead, I didn't realize there were portals backwards. If you lose because of one of those portals... I think we can all agree that we should blame Robin for that.
What?
There's a giant clusterfuck up there where everyone has somehow landed in the block zone and cannot get through. Silent Picture is swirling his way to a victory, but there is a lot of portals that they're going to need to avoid, so we'll see what happens.
I have never heard the sound that those blocks make. So if they make a crunchy sound...
Yeah, we never get to hear it.
We don't know what it sounds like. We don't know what the music sounds like.
Silent Picture almost zigzagged their way to a victory, but that orange block screwed you over, and now you're stuck on the purple block, giving lots of people time to catch up, and All Brain got stuck as well. Here, everyone comes. You know it's going to get real.
Really cool is if we got, like, those earpieces.
I think Woo Scary-ish. Oh, Woo Scary-ish got teleported backwards. Oh, my God, we can't watch what happens in the end.
I win!
Boo! No one's happy. She picked it. #hacks. This is horse shit. Silent Picture comes in second, which means you're the person who's going to receive the loot because Robin doesn't count.
Yes.
But we appreciate you.
Let me go grab it. So I have these.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was just like, be careful. Sometimes you stand up, you hit the table, you shake the whole thing. I don't think anyone has died yet. And if they have, I didn't notice it. A lot of people are just getting teleported backwards, which is unfortunate. But just about everyone is finishing, which is always the goal in life, isn't it? To have everyone finish.
Okay, so we have these coasters that are blank on one side. So if you email us, whatchamacallit, storytime@scarish.com, let us know what you want us to write.
She's speaking right now to Silent Picture, not to everyone watching. This is for whoever won.
This is for Silent Picture. So if you, since you won, email us at storytime@scarish.com and let me know what you want me to draw. Nothing weird, please. Like something,
we just lost
if it's
3
cute
people.
Or something like that. Let me know what you want me to draw or write because we're gonna sign these, and send them out to whoever wins tonight. So let me know.
Man, this is boring. I'm going to zoom out and see if I can catch up with whoever's left. Amanda was eliminated. Okay, there we go. We're done. So we did have, I think, 4 or 5 people get eliminated on this one. Robin won, Silent Picture second place. And then you can see the rest. It looks like Neon Scar still has 21 points on the season, which looks to be leading. And no one, it looks like, has doubled up on wins yet. And this is the last day of February. So actually, I think this season runs until the end of March. So we'll see what happens with it. But that was really fun. I appreciated that. And Raisin Rebel, for whatever reason, has that green dot next to them. So we still don't know what that green dot is. If you know, let us know. Otherwise, we'll try and look into it. So let's go ahead and pick our second map to race.
Oh my God, Miss Deezy, I'm not drawing a penis. I have drawn dick butt in my
I will
past,
draw a penis. So don't ask for a penis. My penises are just,
I just don't want
talented.
Our scariest stuff to have a dick on it, okay? I'm sorry, but no. I want it to be cute.
All right, I'm voting 42 on this one. A lot of other people I see voting 42 as well.
What's 42? The answer to the universe.
42 is laps. Yeah, there's 13 votes. There's 14 votes. 12 of them are for 42. I'm pretty sure we're racing on laps. Let's look at some of the stats for laps then. Average time to finish it is almost 3 minutes. Record time is 2 minutes and 22
Temple
seconds.
Of Steve sounds hot.
It is going to go faster. Do you know someone named Steve?
No. I mean, I do, but that's the only one named after a person.
Unbelievable.
Shut up.
So, cool. Good to know. We got 21 votes in for tracks, and I'm getting the feeling that most of those are for number 42 at this point.
42.
Laps is still the viewer's vote. So
Miss Deezy's like, draw a kawaii penis. Kawaii. No.
I was like, is that a yes?
I don't know how to eat. You know what? Okay. So I use a seasoning when I cook, and it's like a mushroom seasoning. So I don't use MSG. It's like
all right,
natural.
17 votes for laps, 22 votes total. Okay. We're going with this one.
All right. And the little character on the front is supposed to be a mushroom.
It's a dick.
But it's a penis.
It's a logo.
It's like a
of
little
penis.
dancing penis.
Exclamation point play to join in the race, right meow.
Oh. I was like, what? What?
And they come pouring in. We have 13 people joined up, 15 people joined up, 16 people joined up, 17, 18,
Please
19.
don't say every single number.
20.
Get out.
I skipped 21 because Robin yelled at me. 22. We'll see if we can get back to the 25/26 right around there. And then we'll get going for the second race of the night. This has been very fun. Thank you, folks, for joining us.
Do you believe in magic?
Well, I hope you do.
In a young girl's heart?
Don't know about that. All right, we got 26 people in.
Exclamation point play, everyone.
There's anyone else out there? 27 in now. Anyone else out there who normally doesn't race exclamation point play, will just type it into the chat, and all of a sudden you've joined in. There's nothing else to it.
The winner gets a signed coaster, a scary-ish coaster.
With a little doodle on the back,
with a little doodle on the back, if you want.
We have 29 balls, 29 marbles in this race, which is the most that we have ever had. So I'm going to go ahead and click start. If anyone else would like to join in, you will have 10 seconds to do so from meow.
Meow.
Let's take a look at this track. What? What is going on with this track?
What is this?
I think we're going to be stuck somewhere for a long time since this track takes 3 minutes to complete.
It's only 2 minutes. It's not.
That's the ultimate time. The average time is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Everyone's making it through Plinko pretty quickly.
Dear Jesus.
Pancakes made it through first. Akasuna no Kairi is right there. Let's try and catch up and see who's leading. Then there's this fan blade of death. 52 Nicks made it through first. I can't switch to them because this thing is stupid.
There's a ball on fire.
I'm going to go ahead and zoom in myself manually because it has no idea who's leading. 52 Nicks is in the lead, though. Meadow's ball is on fire. That's interesting.
That ball is
Did you
on
do
fire.
that yourself, or was it done for you
No,
and you
there's
don't know how?
been balls on fire before.
But what I'm saying is, did you do it yourself, or did the game do it for you? Because some people are like, I don't know why that's happening. So, okay, so it looks like we've circled back through. I don't know what this track is trying to accomplish or how in the F you finish it. I feel like this is just some sort of dirty trick. Or maybe you go through so many laps and then something opens up.
Oh, yes. I could see that. Oh!
So
that was weird.
It's going to be really hard to tell who's actually winning because it looks like we're going to be zigzagging through this so much.
I think it is definitely... like, look at that. There's a number right there floating in
59.
space.
Why does it say 59,
Why does it say
folks?
59?
It's
don't know.
how many
Oh,
balls
yeah.
pass through something. So
No,
this is
oh,
going to
yeah,
take
it
a little
is,
while.
definitely.
Oh, my Lord. Jesus.
I love him so much. I definitely hope you guys support him because he is hilarious. And I just think it's like wholesome fun, you know?
He's very, very funny.
He's very funny. I don't know.
All right, we have 30 more balls to pass through. So if you're paying attention, 52 Nicks right now is going to be the 29th. We had 29 balls. So I think they're going to be the one that triggers whatever event will send the other balls the opposite direction. So you're either going to be in last place when that opens up or in first place. But we'll see what happens. And whoever's behind you is in good shape.
says, Robin, stop. Robin's hacking.
That's so funny. And yes, she is. I agree.
My hands are here.
All right. We're down to 11, and here comes a big group.
You have to serenade your ball. You have to sing to it.
I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here. Miss Deezy, 52 Nicks, Danish, and Spooky are going to go through, and that'll trigger it. All right, what happens? There you go. And now Jangmi's in first place. After calling out Robin for cheating, Jangmi cheats, has to make it past the rods.
Oh!
Carly and Kat. Kat takes the win. Wow, that was exciting.
That was close.
I can almost hear Jangmi freaking
screaming
out right now. That was really good, though. Jangmi came in second place. Kat takes first place. I actually really do like that one because I don't think anyone died in that one. And on top of that, it's like you're not exactly sure whether or not you're in the lead. It doesn't matter when that thing is going to turn. So that was really fun. That was good.
That was good.
I enjoyed it. I hope you folks did too.
143 AM says she was screaming LOL.
That's so good.
That was really good. I that was a very intense, good ending.
52 Nicks came in 20th place. So that just goes to show you that we thought they were going to win in the beginning, and that track just changed everything. So
that was cool.
Very interesting.
All right. So, Kat, email us, storytime@scarish.com, and let us know what if you want, like, what name you want on it or whatnot. So,
yeah, for any of you who win that are like, I've won before, I want to pass the prize down, you can always just let us know in the chat if that's the case. Not required. If you haven't won before, we totally encourage you to claim your victory. So, congratulations to Kat for that second win of the night, or second win, I should say, for the second race. Let's go back to the live camera and wrap us up. So thank you folks so much for joining us. We really do appreciate every single one of you. This is really fun to do.
It is very fun.
And I know we're going to cut down from 6 to 4, but we're doing that because the show is very long. And to be quite honest, and we're going to tell you this because you folks watch us, we're running out of emails. We have, maybe 10, 11 shows left worth of emails. And if we don't get more in those next 10 to 11 weeks, then we won't have Scarish. I should say we won't have Storytime. Realistically, we're going to get more emails as time goes on, but like we had like 5 emails one of the days last week, and it was super cool. We're like, awesome, we're not going to worry about it. And then like 4 days in a row, we didn't get an email. So it ebbs and flows, and it's streaky. So we want to make sure we have enough content to provide to you folks, and hopefully we can start reaching more people. And any of you who have a friend out there who you think would like the show or might just like to share their story, reach out to them and tell them to give you their story, and then you could provide it to us, or they can reach out to us if they'd prefer. So help us out a little bit. We'd appreciate it. And I think that's just about our normal stuff that we say just to you folks. So I'm going to mark this, and we can transition into the outro. I'll take this one.
So that's everything, you big
That's not true.
Dummy.
You've been taking them for like the last 4 weeks.
Shut up.
So always so nice to me. I'm glad we have this stuff recorded for prosperity. Thank you so much to everyone who sent us your emails this show. We really appreciate you folks. If any of you have a story out there you'd like to share, please email storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to our website, scarish.com, fill out the contact us form, and send it directly to us. We have social medias, and you can talk to us on all of those. Facebook.com/scarishpodcast. We have twitch.tv/scarishpodcast, which is where you can watch these shows live. You can also see youtube.com/scarish, where you can watch these shows live, or after the fact, you can watch the live broadcasts, kind of like how you like watch reruns and stuff. Yeah. You can tweet us at ScarishPod, Instagram's at ScarishPodcast. You can join our Discord by going to our website and finding all our social media links and just clicking that. And you can join our Scarish Spooky Friends group on Facebook as well. And any of those places that you want to reach out to us, feel free. And if you want to just participate with us, it would be really, really fun to do during the live shows. It's a really good time. So aside from that, Robin, if folks wanted to donate to us, how can they do so?
We do have a Patreon, patreon.com/scarishpodcast. I do want to remind everyone that's watching tonight that at the end of the month, tomorrow, we are choosing one person out of all our patrons for a giveaway, because we have these seasonal giveaways and all our patrons are included. So if you guys want to be a part of that, head on over to patreon.com/scarishpodcast. And then if you want to do a one-time donation, it's ko.fi.com/scarishpodcast, right?
Yes.
And you can do one-time donations there. And that helps us upgrade our studio setup and helps us create more content, like that video that we shot of Adam's legs. So
it was awful. But hey, we have some extra money where we can go buy wax to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I see that we've been joined in YouTube by Taylor, and they came in late and they said, show the outfit before the end. So I'm going to mark this, take that part out, but I am going to go ahead and stand up one last time before we end the show, because a few of you guys came in late.
Uno mas. Uno mas. Charmed.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Yeah, so thank you to everyone who helped me wax my legs, like Robin and Robin's sister. And I hope you guys enjoyed that video, because it was fun to do. Even if it was painful, it was a fun time. So there's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor that maybe we'll toss some like outtakes up
on Patreon or something.
Yeah, who knows what we'll do with them. But thank you folks so much for joining us. We appreciate all of you. Keep sending us your stories. Keep listening. Rate and review us on iTunes, whatever you can do. And I think that's just about everything we have.
Yeah.
So Robin,
keep on creeping on, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.